Oh, been quite a day. How are you all? All good, I trust. Hopefully there will be loads of people coming. We can all talk just a load of crap to each other for a few hours. Hello.
Hello.
All right, dear. What crap do you want to talk about?
Nothing in particular.
Uh,
Just here to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hope the dog's got you something nice.
I'll tell you what, Fiona did. She got me a Aussie man birthday card for a start. So it's a destination fucked birthday card. Right, mate.
Am I?
All
Right, darling. Yeah, and there's a few other bits and pieces. I got a decanter that's shaped like a stormtrooper. So she's trying to encourage me to drink, clearly. And there's a few other bits and pieces. And but I think the best one out of the lot is she's got me a Blade Runner glass. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So I go, wait a minute, are these for me? You know? So, you sure these are for me? Because, you know, you being the one that drinks and I normally don't. So I thought, sod it, I'll take it up. I'll take up drinking, sod it.
Fuck it,
Just-
why not?
So I can do my old Deckard in the corner. Go, on the 80.
Enhanced 1645.
So, what's been happening? What's going on? How's your week's been?
I got given my studio computer has been changed quite significantly. You know, I've always been Mac.
Okay.
My nephew admins for a couple of gaming sites worldwide,
Right.
so he's always got like 4 or 5 screens on the go. Consequently, his computer needs to be some serious fucking bit of kit.
Right.
He's recently upgraded his whole system and he gave me his old one. Fucking 1,800 quid computer.
Ooh. Got an RTX GPU in it?
Got a
Go on. 1080p.
1080
1080p.
GTX 1080.
GTX 1080.
But he's got
Okay.
his new one's got a 3090 in it.
Oh, crap.
But yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone balls to the wall with the new one. So, but this thing's got like at the moment it's got a 6-core, 12-thread CPU, 32 gig of RAM, all that shit.
Yeah.
But apparently you can put a 16-core unit in it. So that's my next upgrade. The 16-core fucking CPU in it.
Yeah. Mind
And
you, old Modcap says in the chat, he says, oh, GPU doesn't help audio. Well,
What?
it will if you use those
GPU
GPU
audio, yeah.
plugins that they do now. I suppose you can get to use it, can't you, I
Yeah.
suppose?
I mean, it also helps with stuff that is done on your GPU that would otherwise be done on the CPU. So, like in Windows, if you use the Aero environment, so the modern desktop environment, then that will be all calculated on the GPU. Whereas if you use the old vintage Windows 3.1 graphics, then that will be done on the CPU.
Yeah.
There are other annoying ways. Well, and also many modern plugins use specific GPU acceleration, so they actually take less CPU if you have a better GPU.
Mm.
The thing that's done me is the case. The case is 2 feet deep,
Yeah.
2 feet high, and about 18 inches wide. It's fucking huge. It's like a fridge.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no pissing about with, because in a lot of the ATX cases you're stuffing cables in the back to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
This fucking thing's got a space like that.
Yeah.
Just throw the cables in. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, well, it's like this one I got here. When you take the side off, you can't see it. There's nothing there. It's just this blank panel. You go, I'm in solid dud. And I go, oh no, it's all behind it. It's all encased away and everything like that.
Love it. Yeah. So I've come away from Mac for my studio computer,
Oh, okay.
and not only that, it's got, what was it, 14 USB ports. Everything's plugged in. I don't have to keep switching in and out because the fucking Macs haven't got enough USB ports.
Got you. Got you.
So everything's just plugged in. Switch it on. It's all there. Like, finally. So yeah,
Well,
apart from that.
Well, we're expecting Mr. Hilton.
Are we?
Oh yes, we are.
Well, after the news about Herb today,
Yeah. I know.
that was shit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of part of the course lately, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah.
No. No, he's going to come on later because he wants to have a look at my other birthday present.
Oh, did it arrive?
Oh, hello. Oh, echo. That's it. Cool. All done.
I think you're also listening to the wrong microphone.
The way he talks to that hamster. Hello, darling.
Hello, is this microphone working?
Fucking yeah, is it?
Yes. Is it nuclear powered?
Blimey, is it? What have I done? What? Sorry,
You suddenly have volume, monsieur. Plenty
Isn't that
volume.
bloody weird? Because I've not touched it since Ramsey's this afternoon.
Honestly, you could go and stand in your toilet and we'd be able to hear you. It's really working well.
How's that? Is that any better? Am I still
Yeah, no,
blowing
it's
it?
cool. No, it's cool.
All right, sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Why is that? Isn't that weird? Or was I blowing everybody's socks off on Ramsey's all day as well? Was that?
No, it didn't sound it.
How very odd.
Oh,
I mean,
mate,
this is StreamYard and it was going to vMix, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it depends
sorry
on
about
how
that.
Ramsey has you set up his end.
pardon, you leave his end out of it.
And already
We had him
he's
wearing
off.
God, we had him wearing thongs and everything else. Goodness me, that was a sight that I'm trying to erase from me. Oh, like I said, I just said there are some words that just don't translate, and thong is one of them.
What, flip-flops?
Yeah.
I don't go there. Yes, no, he wasn't. He
the other
wasn't.
one
He's down to. He's going down the beach with a thing up the crack of his bum, isn't it? That's what he's doing.
No, but you don't want to be going down the beach with a
Sorry,
sandal
Rams.
stuck up your ass, do you? So,
No, but everybody would see it through your phone.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat. Oh dear.
Yeah,
You're
don't go to
rubber
a beach with
dolphin.
Walker up there.
Anyway, look. Honestly, look. Yeah.
ooh.
I still can't use it because I've not got an SD card yet because I've not been to get us an SD card. And honestly, why are SD cards so bloody confusing? But anyway, I'll
Well, it
make
needs,
sure I've
it
got
needs
the
a
right one.
particular type of SD card, does it
We
not?
need one of them, mate.
It does. It needs. Well, I wrote it down. What did it say? It's not an X. It's a H. It's a
SDHC.
Class 10 SDHC.
No, right.
Up to this. So you've got to go and you're trying to find whether that's the right thing on the packaging. Is it of an SD card? It's not actually always that easy, but
Yeah, because normally it's on the name.
yeah, it probably is. It's just me who's incapable of reading it. Well,
This
yeah, it's
guy's
a proper.
educating our kids.
Yeah, but I educate them in languages and grammatically constructed clauses and things like that. I just don't understand all this
Yeah, well,
cryptic techno babble.
You don't teach English, do you? So it's totally fine.
I have taught English. I've taught English up to GCSE. Thank you very much. You know.
Oh, but you're not doing it at the moment, are you? So your English
No,
level
no, so you think
my
you think my English has slipped? Okay.
Well, yeah. If you're spending all this time teaching other languages,
Right, Robert. Yeah.
How's your Latin now, anyway?
Linguam Latinam non possum loquari.
Really?
I had one of them, but the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
Well, he's not here yet, is it? But,
Yeah. I just said I can't speak Latin.
incredibly heavy thing.
Oh, infinite expression. Oh, is that your Rolly? Is it arrived or is that the?
Aye, it's arrived. And they've they've improved the MIDI in terms of you've got USB-C, but you've now also got one of those 3.5 to 5-pin DIN jobs as well. So you've got infinite choice of how you want it to connect or not connect.
I don't talk about knocking. I've just seen what Prom's put in the chat. Sorry, Prometheus. Don't say that, Prometheus. I mean, honestly, that was slightly concerning this afternoon, wasn't it? I mean, we know that you've had problems with yours, and I'm inclined to go with Robbie's leaning that it's an SD card thing rather than. But I'm not entirely convinced. There's something that's.
Well, there's something about formatting it first before.
Yeah,
you,
but
and all
that was
malark.
And then they're saying stick it in your computer. Then they're all talking about chuffing Macs, and I'm going, what? What if you've got a PC? Do I stick it in my PC and format it?
No,
or is it already PC format?
No, there's a brilliant program because on PC you've got to go into Drive Manager or something, and it's all.
But those ScanDisk things, SanDisk or other ones like the one that you showed there, Matt, they're nearly always formatted to be recognised by PCs. You stick them in a PC and it picks it up straight away. I've never ever had a problem.
FAT32 when they come out, and
You can do.
Again, I don't understand what that means because I'm an idiot.
Format. That's the type of format.
Right. Okay.
There's a little disk manager. There's fucking hundreds of them, but there's one particular little disk manager program that I used to do the SD cards for the Rolly Grand. Whereas I'd spent 2 hours on the Mac typing in letters and backslash this, that, and the other, and getting nowhere. I whacked it in this, and it went, "Do you want me to format this then?" Yes, please. There you go.
What you don't like doing it in the Unix terminal on Mac?
You know, it was not fun at all. It wasn't fun at all.
Terminal baller.
And then you go, sort of like, "Oh, do you want me to unzip this OS onto this floppy?" Yes, please. Okay. And that was it, and it was done. In after 2 hours of fucking. And I got Richard the other end on Messenger going, "Right, now type this in. Right, can you see your Drive Manager?" "No, where is it?" "Well, it should be up here and it's listed." "No, there's nothing there. What's going on?" Because I had something else open, so the icon had been changed and all this sort of shit. So, be glad you're on the PC, Andy. Trust me. You don't want to go down that Mac road, mate. Mac's brilliant for everything else, but holy crap. Not good. Not good.
Anyway, happy birthday,
Thank you.
Mr. Birthday Boy.
We don't use the word 60, though.
I didn't.
No.
59 plus 1.
I had a 3-hour conversation with Dave Spears yesterday about it's the implications that being 60 tends to induce. You know, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm 60," you go, "Really? Should you be up this late?" You know? And you've kept your hair and everything, that kind of thing. So I'm substituting the word 60 with bit older. How old are you? Bit older. End of. It's just that the sound 60, when people, because they say, "How are you now?" "I'm 60," and the word tastes weird in your mouth when you say it. They go, "I'm not going to say it." That's that word. No, horrible word. So yeah. So
I'm under orders from the missus to wish you a happy birthday as well.
Oh.
There we go. I've done it. So.
Thank you.
And also, hi, Mark, and hi, Handsome, in the top right-hand corner. He doesn't know I'm talking about him. Hi, Robert.
Little side look at Robert's eyes.
Yeah. You talking about me? Oh, really?
Oh, fucking hell.
Did you watch the Andromeda A6 Noodling?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Robert. Yeah.
I was going to put snidey comments in the chat like, "Oh, what a wonderful stylophone this is.
Yeah,
what type of stylophone is this?"
I got it as a little short, so I couldn't.
I mean,
type a comment in.
the silver is not. It's very nice, nearly stylophone. Yeah, you are correct.
Where's his stylus? I don't get it.
No, it's a big stylophone that doesn't need them. It has actual keys.
Yeah. Good
You're just sitting there, Kent, at the minute, going future work.
No. If it breaks, then it isn't. when there
Oh yeah,
isn't.
no. If an Andromeda A6 breaks, go skip.
Or well, it depends. I mean, if it's an ASIC that breaks, then you can recover them from another broken one, but you need somebody who has the patience to do the SMD rework at that point, which I don't think you have.
Fortunately, there are lots of broken ones available.
Yeah. So I mean, if a voice
Practically
breaks,
all
then
of them.
then it's fine. But yeah, if a
Yeah.
processor goes, then
Yeah. It's sad because it's an awesome thing, isn't it? Really, it's a truly wonderful machine. It's a shame it just seems to be.
I mean, what it
I-
really needs is somebody to replace the entire digital board or that part and just with a modern computer and also replace the stupid pods in the middle with actual encoders.
Mm.
And then it will be an awesome modern synth.
Yeah. Oh, well, Acehead's asking why can't you repair an Andromeda?
Here we go.
It's about as custom as you can get.
Yeah, it's custom releases processors that of a computer, and all the analog stuff is custom ASICs that they made.
You phone Alesis and say, "Oh, can I have a processor for an Andromeda A6?" And they go, "You bought an A6." Basically, that's what they do, and they want nothing to do with it.
That's shocking because it was such. I remember at the time when it came out, it was such a big thing, wasn't it? This almost behemoth of an analog synthesizer.
Oh yeah, it was a real flagship in true
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
of the word. Unfortunately, they did it in a
Well,
particular
it
way,
killed
which
them.
which means you couldn't repair it. So
They just made it how they made all the digital stuff, which is make custom processors and integrate as much as possible.
there must have been more to it than that, though, because it didn't do Hartman any harm, did it? Because that neuron thing, I've broken one of me upside down mushroom switches on it. There you go. Well, you can't get in, mate. Bye bye.
I mean, well, you can pay somebody to do new injection molding. Well, that's going to cost you a lot.
Yeah, please, can you do me a mushroom? Yeah, I know it's ridiculous.
But I mean, the Neuron, at least on the inside, it's just an early 2000s PC, or late 90s PC. So that is on the inside. As much as it's annoying when it breaks, you can get enough compatible hardware still that you can mostly get to work.
Well, it's like technically the Korg Oasis is a Pentium P4, but it's running Linux, and just if you swap the board over to something more modern, they go, well, what's this hardware? What's that hardware?
Yeah, that's with the Neuron. It's really picky about the limited amount of. That's a custom Linux, and then it's a PCI card that does all the audio and front panel connections to it.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, they go, if you go on eBay and you look up a Pentium 4 2000, 2 gigs, rather, and they go, it's how much? Are you insane, man? Oh, they're vintage now.
Oh,
Well, it's more that Pentium 4 was the end of a line for Intel anyway. I mean, that's the first time I realized that, this is getting too hot, we can't fix this problem, and they just abandoned Pentium 4 when the next line went back to the Pentium 3 design.
Yeah. I remember buying my Pentium 1, and I got a dual CPU motherboard, so I bought another Pentium 1 over a period of time, because it was, how much? And I put it all together and go, this is going to fly when I play this game. No, it doesn't. It only talks to one processor. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Didn't really say that anyway. So there you go. More money wasted.
oh no.
So
So, you're trying to put me off Macs, I noticed. No, he's shaking his head. No. Well, I was thinking that as and when the funds are available, I will go for a Mac in here rather than this PC that's sitting in front of me.
I
Depends what you
wholeheartedly
go for.
agree. Wholeheartedly agree. It's
A
just
Mac Mini, what is
It would be an
definitely...
M1. I'd be going for an M1.
The only issue that you have with any Mac is that depending on age, the upgrades are limited, the ports are limited, so it depends how much USB you need, all that sort of stuff. PCs are less reliable in my experience, but infinitely upgradable
And cheaper
Yeah. So
by a
it's
country mile.
I'm just being influenced by people like Jim Glue and Neil Wharton. You see,
Do you know what? Macs are brilliant.
Macs are
but
amazing.
not when it comes to formatting an SD card.
And Grace.
It just isn't. You know.
It depends what you're used to.
well, I'm only used to PCs. I've never actually used a Mac, really.
It took
Are you
me.
selling your Mac or dumping it or what?
I've got
Your PC, you getting rid of it?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Because you could just keep
I
it.
wouldn't, I wouldn't get rid of it. It would stay because it's.
Yeah.
I mean, this is now what, a year and a half old. This PC.
Oh yeah. That's
So
fine.
already I'm sort of yeah, you're saying it's fine, but already I'm thinking it's got only another year and a half in it before it starts to become this
No, I
is an
mean
old PC.
it's fine to keep it because it's only a year and a half.
yeah.
So if you're working on both formats, I highly recommend it. Because when you've got a job to do, you go, oh, do you know Mac does this better? Oh, I'll go over here to the Mac. Or PC does this better. I go to the PC.
Right.
Play the field, you know?
Yeah.
Give yourself the options.
It's sort of bisexual computing, really. It just works.
Bisexual.
It's more inclusive. It really is. What can I say? It just works better.
Okay. Swings both ways. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Actually, I highly recommend that as well.
See, Neil's just popped up in the chat. Get the M1 or M2 and you won't regret it. Great machines. See, we had such long chats, and because it was just the infinite mockery of Jim Glue and Neil Wharton on a day trip to London to Gearfest. Because I couldn't get my phone to work, I couldn't get it to scan the tickets, I couldn't get my phone. You need an iPhone, and you just ditch all this. Get a Mac, get an iPhone. You'll be fine. Your life will change. You'll be a better human being. People won't think you're an arse and all that business. Well, they probably still will, actually.
Having listened to you and your technological difficulties in the past, I would worry about you switching. That would be my concern. Because it can take you about, it took me 2
You call me
weeks.
stupid?
No.
I would.
Yeah, go on.
It took
Call him
me
call him
2 weeks.
stupid.
2 weeks.
Go on, yeah, go on, call
to
him.
fully
Go on.
adapt.
Go on, what is this place?
Go on.
You're
He's
fucking
dead.
stupid.
I
Yes!
know, it's true, it's true. Oh, it's true. Sorry.
No, actually, I think up to a point, at least, if you were using a Mac in what we, should we call the general way of using a computer, Mac's fine. It's actually, if anything, ideal for somebody who isn't really up on it.
Mm.
It's only where you got to do particularly things on it that you need to know what you're doing and where stuff
It's
is
just
on it.
learning the different methods of how things work in it, that's all. So if you're setting up bits and pieces, it's just where you go to look to set things up.
Although
like
you
I
will
say,
find, Andy, it is absolutely a mindfuck the first time you start using it. They put the close the window on the other side. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because after 30 years of doing that, you're going, well, no, it won't close. Oh, it's
yeah. I've come across that already because of Grace uses Macs, basically. She's got a MacBook thing and an M1.
right there, MacBook thing.
Yeah,
with
MacBook
PCs,
thing.
mate.
I don't know all the designations, you see, but I mean, she doesn't. She runs the all her Ableton and all of the music stuff off the laptop.
Yeah.
Her main sort of big Mac is just the videos and everything else. Everything goes on there. DaVinci Resolve, all that stuff is coming. And then she gets a phone and she goes, well, and then the file of the video that the phone's made appears in the Mac And I'm going, oh, did you do that? Oh, it's called
AirDrop.
It's called AirDrop. Yeah,
Yeah.
AirDrop. It's bloody great. Just go beep, 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 recognise it.
I
And
do
I'm
that in
going,
bed
"What?"
sometimes. Yeah.
Well, I will not comment. And
No, I found that with Macs, the one thing that is very, very prominent over PCs is that connectivity with other devices and other environments, even.
other Mac devices.
Not necessarily. I mean,
All right.
Fiona's laptop, she tries to do stuff on the big smart TV, and it goes, no. I thought, my iPad, it goes, like that, and boom, up it pops.
Right.
No problems. So, you know, from that point of view, I edged into Macs gently, or should I say into Apple gently, because I used to be staunch PC, and I was brought into it via my first iPad. And it was within a few weeks, I'm going, God, this is better than using a computer. Shit. And then I stayed with the iPads because I knew that format now by that time. But when Dave gave me his Mac Mini, and it was sort of like, I kind of know what's going on because of the iPads. And you get into it. You get into it quite well. I mean, I use Mac Mini to run the show and everything connected with it. I only do music on the PC, but I'm still the thought of having a Mac Studio or an M2 Mac Mini when they come out is very appealing. Only because of using a Mac Mini, I found that it's a very pleasant experience over the PC. So,
Right.
well,
Cool.
Widi doesn't work on PC for a start. I've got 12 Widis sitting
Take
down
a drink.
here that I can't fucking use because it's a PC music computer. You know, I mean, I can Bluetooth to the Mac Mini. All my Rolly devices, well, apart from the Grand, it doesn't Bluetooth. PC, it's like, no, go and get a cable. Go and get a cable. I'm not talking to it through the air. Fuck off. So there you go.
I'd probably always use a cable anyway, but
The best thing you can do is if Grace can give you some lessons, basically, in just pissing about with a Mac, that might get your head round it.
yeah.
If you got
Well,
access, if you got access to one, that helps.
Yeah. Well, Neil's just said he would do the same thing. He just says, it's okay. I can't operate a PC, so I don't have to unlearn very much. That's all right. Yeah. It's just at the point where I go, right, okay, now's the time. It's not there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there because the funds aren't there yet, but there will be eventually.
Sure.
Oh, are you smoking real ones again, Ken? Oh,
Yes,
shame on you.
don't give me a fucking hard time. I'm old.
It's his birthday. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Enjoy that. Enjoy your last cigarette.
Oh, it's not that bad. I don't inhale. See?
Then why bother?
Oh, it's stylish, isn't it? It's cool, man.
Oh, okay.
Back in the 1940s. Do you know
Yeah,
what?
well, stick
I
a
got
thing in your
this
gob
new-
that looks like a sex aid, particularly
I
with the
do
cable
have this
hanging
new
out of it,
oil
that
coming
is
from
not-
my vape. Okay, I have this new oil coming from my vape, and if it works, option on. Besides, I interject every now and again. I'll just go to my pocket. I'll be back in a moment. Oh,
It's in there somewhere.
it's never far away.
Sorry.
I've got my hard one in my pocket. Look at that.
Got your hard one.
Aye.
Yeah.
So that one.
Slick.
Um,
Slick.
Yeah. So, quick, smoke. Cool. Yeah. So no, that's cool. So
Those vape pens are good, by the way. I had a couple of those. They've died in the meantime.
This one's all right. And they're just 2 years.
see, that's
I
the
think.
old
What-
oil. It doesn't work.
What have you got in it?
fucking diesel by the sound of it.
It's something I found under the kitchen sink.
Oh God. Honestly,
No, I think it's a 50-50 mix, and I think that's where it goes wrong. It's far too much of that. There's a coming along in it.
yeah. No, well, I just
Poly-
see. I
polyfiller.
just use these vampire vapes and into my little thing, and it.
Ooh, butt plug.
I'm down to. I'm down to 6 milligrams of nicotine now. I've whittled it down and down and down. So, but it does still have nicotine in it.
6 milligram.
Yeah, so that's
Fucking hell, I'm
that's-
still on 18.
Right, to coin a phrase that I had said to me
Yeah.
once, why bother?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, you're still getting it, so it still fit. When I don't have it, I go, oh, God, like when I'm at school and it's like, oh God, I want.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose there is a lot of that. You know, that it's not an unreasonable question, is it?
But
I mean,
you can't vape in class, can you?
No. I'm not allowed to do that in school at all. I mean, I got caught once and got very told off.
Oops.
Do you know what? Here's an irony. I love this. Honestly, I could have pissed myself laughing about this. The number of times I've rushed into my little cupboard at the side of my room between lessons and had a couple of puffs on my vape. The fire alarm sensors in there, and I didn't believe this at all. Right, I thought that's ridiculous because they were forever going off, and they were forever going off in the boys' toilets and the girls'. No, so. And then a few weeks ago, right, this is long after I'd said I'm not doing it in school. You know, I've been caught, I've been told, and they don't do that. It said such a bad. If a kid sees you, you know, it causes problems and all that. I said, yeah, it's fine. I won't do it. So I don't. And there was a fire alarm, and I honestly, it was during break. I'd gone down. I went to the bog. I was actually having a crap. I was sitting on the bog. Oh God. Got to go, right, so I was sitting on the bog and the fucking fire alarm went off and I go, I'm sitting on the bog having a crap and the fire alarm's gone off. So eventually you do your stuff and get to the point where it's practical to leave, shall we say, and leave. You go in the field. I went to my tutor group, checked they were all there and all present and correct. I get back into my classroom and there's the headmaster sitting there and he went, fire alarm, it's from your cupboard. I went, really? He went, yeah, it's from your cupboard. I went, oh, well, I don't think anybody's been in here, Ben. No, there's nobody in here, and I certainly wasn't here. I was on the bog having a crap. Anyway, it's just, and I felt, it was just really weird, and I just thought, can you believe that? I thought the ironies of all the time it could have gone off because I was vaping in the cupboard. I wasn't. I didn't. I didn't. I was doing a number two.
That was a missed opportunity, Andy. You coming out of a school with everybody out in the playground. You coming out of the school last with the fire alarm going off.
No. It's never lasted. You no idea.
Oh, okay. Because you could have gone up and say, "I'll give that 10 minutes if I were you."
Yeah, it's my break time. It's my break time. I'm not going anywhere. And you got to wind. You got oh. So no, it's not like that. But it was just, I just thought, well, can you believe that?
Wow.
Why is that fire alarm in my cupboard gone off and I wasn't even in the chuffing room? You know? And all the times it could have done. I think, well, you know, it's one of those funny things. Fire alarms are weird things, aren't they?
It's
But
funny, you wouldn't think a vape would set a fire alarm off.
they've set them up. They've set them up to do it.
Depending what they are, they're
Yeah.
quite easy.
Yeah,
I mean, back in
they've set them up
university.
to sense it.
Like in University Hall, many people set them off just using a hairdryer nearby and getting particles sprayed into them.
Where is it? Aylesbury?
Hey, Jim in Aylesbury. He looks very static. Are you alright, Jim? Come on, can you? Earth to Jim.
No.
Oh, there he is. Oh. It must be very cold up there. He's slightly frozen.
Is it near Hebden Bridge? Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
again.
he's gone.
Uh-oh. Right, well, while he reconnects, I'm going to go.
And that is the shortest single in history. Surely there is more.
What? It's only a 16-step sequencer. How was I supposed to be more?
What, go around twice? Dippity-gee, dippity-gee. So you hear how lovely and twangy that is?
Why aren't I hearing you guys? This is weird.
Slightly hearing you.
Why aren't I hearing
I see Jim's on Talk.
Blimey, Jim's turned into Richard. How did that happen? Hi,
Osmosis.
Richard.
It's like your magic fire alarm, mate.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Genetic manipulation. Yeah,
Bye.
that's right, mocap. That is nice. It's a nice twangy bass. I really like that.
I'm not hearing anything. What the fuck?
We can hear you. Oh, he won't hear it, will he?
No. Well deduced there, Watson.
Been a long day.
Yeah, no, don't worry, it's cool.
Oh, fucking hell. Aye, England got a penalty.
We're getting kicked out of the Euro again.
Well, we're losing 1-0 at the minute, but we just got a penalty, so...
Oh.
Oh, rather lose early than late. Means there's less disappointment on the street.
Yeah, why drag it out?
Oh, Richard's gone.
Just get back on the plane.
Yeah. Just don't get qualified in the first place.
Man. Oh, he's gone again. Oh. I'm having connection issues.
But
That was meaty.
after
nice
like half
twangy
a year,
bass, isn't it?
after half a year, I'm slowly getting somewhere with the Andromeda.
Oh, you plugged it in now? I find that helps.
Yeah, you say that, Kent. I mean, most of the time it has been vertical, either against the wardrobe or the wall.
Yeah, I tell you what, you plug them in and it's a whole new world. Ooh. Yeah. Oh dear. No, I had to get a new pitch wheel pot for a Moog Rogue. Doesn't sound right.
But that's why it's called Rogue.
Yeah,
like
I
Moog.
know.
Well, then is it a Moga Fuga or a Muga Foga or a Moga Foga?
No, it's a Moog.
What the
Fogger.
fucker? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just normal little Moog Rogue. And it needed a pitch wheel, and it was 32 fucking pounds for the pot. Not a Moog pot or anything like that. A pot.
What's so fucking special about it? It's just a pot, right?
On
Just
the
a pot mounted sideways.
it has to have a very, very high quality pot in it because they designed it in such a way that if you just gently touch the wheel with a normal pot, a normal 10k pot, the pitch jumps about. You have to have one with a proper metal shaft, with a proper, brass bearing, the whole shebang, right? Otherwise, if you touch the wheel slightly, you go it's all over the place. That's what, fucking £32 for a pitch wheel pot. Jesus Christ Almighty! Gone are the days when they used to be 50p.
Well, you just charge it to the customer, right? So it's not like it's your problem, really.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this customer is, bless him, he's trying to get into synthesizers. He got no money at all. He got given this thing, and I don't know. I think he'd been dragged behind a car or something because they couldn't afford a trailer. It was really beaten up. I got it all working for him, but it's got these little issues on it, and it's costing a fortune. It's just going up in price.
What synth are you actually repairing there, Kent?
Hmm?
Did you say it's a Moog Rogue?
Yeah, Moog Rogue.
Hi, fellas.
Good
Hey,
afternoon.
Hi, Richard.
Happy birthday, Kent,
Why, thank you.
young man.
Apparently. Mind you, because I always say that to you. How you doing, young man? Don't I?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's my day to say it to you.
Yeah. It's not irony. I think it's just more friendly.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
and I, I wouldn't miss an occasion to be more friendly.
How is your pork doing?
Well,
There's a loaded question.
Yeah, people making up their own jokes to that one.
right, and
Yeah.
cover your ears.
Cover your ears, you won't like this.
It smells like it's doing great.
Good.
I have a giant 5-pound bone-in piece of pork in a slow cooker right now, preparing
yum.
to turn into pulled pork for months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apples and onions.
So that's what that question refers to.
I've
Yeah,
got
'cause
a nice
I was-
piece of tenderloin in the fridge, which I intend to hammer out thin and then do stuff with and roll it up and tie strings around it and bung it in the oven for about 40 minutes and it'll be fab.
Very nice. Very nice.
And every now and again I just go, I'm going to have one of those. It's a bloody faff, tying string around a lump of meat, but it's nice to do. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. The English roast.
Oh,
It's a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how's everybody been?
Good. Thank
Good.
you.
Yep.
Robert, you well?
Surviving, yeah.
Very good. I see Andromeda.
Hmm.
I see stuff on the back wall. Is it the same stuff or is it changed?
But nothing else has changed. I mean,
Oh, okay.
the only like new things, otherwise, like in the last half year, have been the little dread boxes.
Ah, very nice.
But
Is that a kit or is that a fully assembled thing?
it's a
is.
kit, but it is like half an hour of putting some circuit boards to a front panel.
Is
and then
that
like,
the Erebus that you've got there?
yeah, I've got both the Erebus and Hades.
All right, cool.
It's cool
Nice.
that it's a kit. No, I'm down.
But there's supposedly they're like coming out this month or next month as proper built and calibrated.
Yeah, the built ones. Do you think they'll put out the kits again? That would be nice.
Well,
I
I mean,
just
it's
couldn't
nice
afford to
that
do
you
it.
don't have to pay tax with the kit because it is electronic parts rather than an instrument.
Ooh, Kent's got a fancy new keyboard.
He has. Yeah.
So, Kent, have we confirmed that the USB-C port is in fact sending data?
We're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, they put those ridges are actually quite good actually.
Yeah, good.
It's
Happy to
heavier.
hear that.
It's heavier than the old one.
Oh, it's heavier than the old.
Yeah, it certainly feels it.
Not necessarily happy to hear that, but that'll do.
Yeah, yeah. Now, of course, none of the USBs I have here fit this. Yay!
No, you mean USB-C?
Yeah, none of them are USB-C there.
Oh, you mean you just don't have cables for it?
No, I don't have a cable here.
All right. Well, those are easily gotten.
Has your rolling shifted, Richard?
There is no Rolly there right now, folks. There is a Phantom 8.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
I thought that was going to be called
That sounds
Level
great.
42's World Machine then.
Pardon me?
I thought that was going to be the opening call to Level 42's World Machine.
Might well have been. This is from the
It will be if you're not careful.
JP8000 models, is what you're hearing right here. And there are actual filter and enveloping controls on the surface of this thing that allow you to actually interact with the synthesizer patches in a way that's very satisfying and convincing as a, faked analog experience.
Does
And
it live up to your expectations?
So far, it's exceeded it's daunting.
Oh, right, well, yeah.
So not only does it exceed my expectations, it exceeds my needs. But it's, I think, a very, very. So far, I'm very impressed with it as a flagship product for a company of this nature. Very impressed with the sheer breadth of things that it does and that you can load, and the way they've leveraged this whole Zencore world to be able to represent their other instruments. I mean, there's JP8, there's Jupiter 8 patches in this thing. Here's some JX8P. And funnily enough, all the synth controls change color depending on which synth you're playing. How clever is that? How clever is that? SH-101 we've got.
Oh yeah, let's hear that.
All right, that's a pretty. Hang on a second.
Polyphonic SH-101. Nice.
Well, I'm in the pad section. If I go to the lead synth section,
Oh, I see. Yep.
there's a whole bunch of those as well. So. And then there's You know, the interesting thing is the models have, I guess this is to be expected, but the parameter set for the model is based on the original instrument. So
Yeah.
here we have an SH-101 sound, and there's only one envelope generator available. There's not a separate filter envelope available.
Nope.
It's the one envelope that like you would have on an
It's the
SH-101.
most
But if you,
basic synth you can get, really, isn't it? When you
But-
take a step back. But the thing about the original SH-101, it always just sounded great. It was very difficult to make a naff sound on an SH-101.
Yep, agreed. So there's Jupiter 8 stuff. That first one, I guess, this is a Jupiter 8 patch. Then. With the sync stuff and everything. And then in the pad world. I've always been partial to the JX8 and those instruments that descended from it, the MKS-70, the JX10, and all of that. And this is a pretty satisfying simulation of pretty.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And it's
lovely.
nice to be able to grab some knobs and do some shit on a workstation. I mean, it's you expect that on a lot of instruments, but not necessarily on something like this. So I'm having a blast. It's a lot to learn. So the basic synth patch, the top level patch is called a scene. A scene can have 16 zones. Zones being layers, splits, different sounds available under different switches, however you want to define it. 16 different things make up a scene, and they call them zones. Within a zone, you can have 16 tones. So theoretically, you can have a tremendous amount of shit going on across the keyboard if that's sort of where you were coming from. But just architecturally, that's kind of how it breaks down. And,
Are you planning to use that live? Is that going to be
yes, that's
your
the
main?
goal.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
goal. This is actually, probably technically chic gear, even though they gave it to me. But it's I'm preparing it to play chic songs. That sort of thing.
Excellent.
Do you know what? To hear that coming from the man, it's just like, yeah.
It was a miniature concert.
It's just like, yeah, love it.
So that's but that's one of the. There's not that many complicated patches. That one's distinctive because it's got this beautiful. I mean, that's just. I think that's beautiful. That does what I want a tubular bell to do, and here's what I mean. Quite often, a tubular bell is so rich with harmonics that when you play a melody that you expect to hear, the harmonics from each subsequent note interact in such a way that you're hearing like 4 different melodies at the same time, and it becomes this sort of mess. This is a layer of 2 different tubular bell patches from the instrument, and I just think it rings beautifully and clearly in the way that I want. And it's got a thickness to it, but at the same time it's bright and clear and cuts the strings. And Quite happy with it.
Hmm.
So I'm basically just getting my chops together on this instrument. I'm not on a deadline, and in fact, hang on. Hi, dear. Okay. Once we get this ready, like we have 2 of these. It took 8 months to get 2 of these. We need 6 of them. 3 in America and 3 in Europe, because the 2 of us are going to play them, and there needs to be 1 spare. So, in addition to what we have now, which is 2 keyboards, we need 4 more of these and 6 road cases, and it all has to end up where our crew is, and I need probably an extra pedal to use to do some of the things I want to do. And so there's logistical realities to implementing this once I've completed my work in preparing the show. So that's the logistical side of it. But another nice thing about the programming of this thing, it has something called chains, which are strings of scenes. And you can name them and save them, and there can be multiple ones and everything. So, for example, we tend to play either a 90-minute, a 75-minute, or a 60-minute show. I can have a scene chain for each of those. And what happens when you're executing a chain is the steps of the chain come up on the sound select buttons, of which there are 16. So you can actually select them directly from there rather than have to interact with this touch screen on stage, which is really, really useful. Also, if you go into rhythm programming mode, these 16 buttons work like, TR-808 or whatever. You select your kick drum and you pop the lights on where you want the kick drum, and you select your snare drum and you pop the lights on where you want your snare drum. You can actually use those buttons and interact like a Roland drum machine. Wow. So it actually does a whole shitload of very clever things. It's a very impressive flagship instrument to me. And it's got these 16 buttons up here that can contain anything from musical phrases to selected things. It comes stock with comes stock with some shit like loaded onto those buttons just to demonstrate what they do, but you can have different categories of sounds playing on different buttons and trigger them in real time if that's where your life is located. It's not really that relevant to my workflow right now, but who knows what I might find to do.
Roland should be paying you a royalty for all of that.
Well, they gave me the damn thing.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
But actually, I would love, Andy, if you would be so kind as to negotiate that for me. Because if they want to give me one more, then I can let this one be Sheik's, and I can keep one.
Richard, I wish my influence extended that far. I really do.
I love your spirit and
sadly, it's limited.
I'm just having fun, and I've been using these stage pianos, which have 4 zones, and this thing has 16. So I'm, really glad for and I've been using nothing but Rompler synthesizers, which was driving me nuts. So now at least I can take whatever's in there and craft it into something that represents what I want it to sound like, rather than just combine disparate elements and do the best you can. So I'm quite excited about that.
Excuse me.
Because there have come to be a few more synthesizer elements now that we're playing these Madonna songs, these old Madonna songs that I have to do. And even just the basic synth pad patch I use on the other keyboard is just boring as hell to me, and it's just barely satisfied. It just sort of does the job. It doesn't really inspire me in any way, but it's in there and it works. But that's not what I want. I want something that's inspiring.
Well, so far the rise doesn't work.
Of course it's going to work.
There's no communications whatsoever, even though it's selected.
What are you saying now? It doesn't. It's first of all, which computer are you looking at?
My PC.
Your PC.
Yeah.
Well, you see, there's your problem right there.
No. All I did was disconnect my
Oh,
Rise from the
no.
PC and put in my Rise 2. I called up dashboard and everything's there.
It recognizes that there's a Bluetooth,
Bluetooth.
Rise connected.
Bluetooth. No, it's connected via USB. It's a PC, remember? Go back to the beginning of that sentence.
It's-
Bluetooth and PC. Are you
It's
kidding?
connected
Working
with
together
the-
in harmony.
I thought you told me you didn't have a USB-C connector.
No.
cable.
Well, it says I didn't have a cable set up there.
Oh,
I've got
you
the
just
old-
didn't have it on
the
that
old-
part of the room. I get it.
Yeah. The old printer type one. I was like,
Okay.
I've got to find a cable and connect it up. Done all that. Nothing.
Are you sure you've got a cable which transmits data, isn't just for charging?
Yeah, because when I put up the dashboard, there it is. Clear as day, working. Data.
So, in other words, you're touching the keyboard and you're seeing
I'm s-
indications.
Yep, you've seen the little dots, dude.
Okay. Well, that
Yeah.
means that it's in the computer. So
Yep.
what isn't working?
But when I put it into Cubase, call up Equator.
Yeah. Why don't
Select-
you just start from the standalone version of Equator?
God, that would mean having to find it. Let's have a look.
Yeah, but it would also mean that you would set up the preferences in such a way that they might carry over into Cubase and
Okay,
actually work.
let's see what's not going on here. Right, Equator standalone.
Well, Glorioski.
Well, fuck it up. So why isn't it working in Cubase where it is always? Oh no, that's the one in the background.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, for Christ! Why isn't
Well,
Cubase?
well, it's a new MIDI device, so it might not be passed of all MIDI inputs.
Yeah, but it says here in the selector, Roly Seaboard Rice 2, in the track selector. It's. I give up. Fuck
So it's a
it, all right,
Cubase. It's a Cubase issue.
It looks like it's a Cubase indeed. Let's see
They
what we
still
got
write
here.
software that 2/3 of works, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
I used to beta test for them. Every software released, 1/3 of the shit in the manual wasn't working yet. Now, this was a long time ago, so presumably things have gotten better.
Guys, I've got to dive out. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, Matt.
All right,
Yep,
one
bye,
minute.
Matt. See you in a bit.
So yeah,
Seems to be doing.
So,
something.
first of all, the good news is there's note data coming out of the USB-C port because we had that
definite-
conversation
Yeah,
earlier.
we've had that. No,
So
this-
that's good news.
we have a Rise that is doing what it ought to. Although
What it's
the
supposed
first
to
thing it
do.
had to do was update its firmware. I mean, it's brand new. They've already written new firmware for
Well,
it.
that just means that they're being extremely diligent.
Yeah, well, it means they come across problems like it doesn't work in Cubase all of a sudden.
Well, that's another issue.
Yeah.
But I always try to start with standalone stuff just because it eliminates what we just eliminated. Now you can go forward in Cubase and try to make it work there because you know
Yeah.
it'll work without Cubase.
It's
How's it
quite
feel?
clever. It feels good, and I think I know why he's got those ridges. Because when you hit those ridges, you're going to get the centre of that key, and it seems to
Right.
be.
Yeah, of
so you're
course.
going to hit that first.
It's supposed to make it easier to play it in tune.
See, what we need to do is play somebody who isn't massively
Right.
proficient on it in the first place to find out whether that really works.
You mean unlike your stunning level
Siri?
of virtuosity.
Siri, Siri, can you come in here and try this out for us, please? You know
Get a
through
few
5
dog,
minutes.
get a
Yeah.
few dog paws on there. I don't think that'll void the warranty.
Nah. Why is it so very, very quiet?
Very what? Quiet?
Yeah.
You weren't hitting the keys hard enough. That's why.
This one doesn't have any velocity in it.
No, come on.
Well, they have patches that are not 5D, and he might be playing one of those from.
It might be one of those that doesn't have velocity. It's not a strike thing.
By the way, the thing's got ridiculous polyphony. This thing. I mean, before you even get
pass
to the
out on it.
before you get to the V piano, you can pretty much sit on the V piano. You can lay your arm down across both arms down across the keyboard, and every note will play. It's got ridiculous polyphony.
Oh, 6 points.
Well, it's louder.
6 points.
That wasn't me.
Oh, that was Robert.
That was Robbie. Yeah.
Oh, that was the Andromeda. Yeah. No wonder it sounded so good. You know, I love it as long as I'm not looking at it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. The thing drives me nuts to look at, but it's actually a great sounding synthesizer. I played quite a bit of Andromeda when I was working with Duran with Nick and Mark on the controls.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It sounds great. And they got some great, very Nick Rhodesy patches out of the thing.
Yeah, after I've worked on one, I feel like I've had an ocular stroke.
What was that?
No.
It's really, it's bad. You get like all bleary-eyed and everything.
Oh, looking at the Andromeda.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to look at.
Oh, do you know what? I've got it working in Cubase.
Well, golly.
Yeah. I wonder how I did it though. But suddenly it's gone, oh, do you know what? I think I'll work. That's very kind of you. So where's the...
You called somebody older than you.
Hang on. Why have you put... It's put the panel over here. Come over here. Come over there. That's it. Right. Have we got something that works now? Please tell me we've got something that works. Oh, that was
If you recall, we did...
That was
if you
worth
recall,
8 months' wait, wasn't it?
If you recall, we did this with the other one, too, the Grand. Got it working together.
Oh, you get. Yeah, I think you get a bit in it.
I'll look for one.
This is a professional singer. We think his voice might improve.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got in here. Mod sweeps. I think the keyboard's a little firmer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it as firm as the block?
Oh, the block. The block is like organising a cutlery drawer. Playing that, isn't it? It really is quite...
It's finicky, but I would hope that this... I expected it to be slightly firmer than the last one, and
Yeah.
with those nice little nipples on the top. Linear
Yeah.
nipples.
But when you go to the Grand, that's gossamer.
How do you
really,
mean?
It's really soft and delicate.
Yeah.
It hasn't
Well,
got
that's
the same
the
kind
thing.
of
I
give
want to
on it.
be able to play softly. One of the things I love about the Rise is that it gives us back the bottom half of the MIDI velocity range, because most synthesizers basically do nothing below 64 velocity. I mean, they play, but they don't sound like much.
Yeah.
And the great thing about the Rise is that when you play it softly, it really is responsive. and
really,
cool.
really does play soft, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really beautiful down there.
Yeah.
I quite love playing it softly. So I hope we can still do that on the new one.
Let's have a look and see what we've got. If we find quite an aggressive sound.
So you can play it softly?
Yeah.
Why don't you put up the breath flute?
Jazz flute?
It's funny, I keep reaching for mine and it's not here.
Where is the breath? Oh man.
Or just anything you can play softly. It's melodic,
Let's find something ethnic.
not a distorted guitar.
Not it, is it? Oh dear.
That sounds dynamic and soft. That sounds like what I expect,
Yeah.
which is good.
That one doesn't make any sound at all. It's not a good idea to have anything that's actually got a dramatic strike on the front of it. Let's go back
We
to
gotta open the chat window up here. Say hello to the chatties.
What, from one sound? Okay. There's also these plinkety plink plinkers all over the place. Have got anything pretty straightforward? Or is that asking too much? Might be. I don't know about you, but I find in Equator a lot of the names of the patches really don't help with describing what the patch sounds like.
Okay. I mean, what does an alien orifice sound like anyway? That's
Well,
a
from
Frank
my
Zappa.
experience.
It's an actual Frank Zappa title.
Yeah, it
Alien
could-
orifice.
Yeah. I'm sorry the alien is not in the orifice today.
Yeah, right.
Please try again tomorrow.
Not keeping orifice hours today.
Yeah. Oh, pardon me. You know what? I think I might just abandon Equator at the moment and go to something a little bit more up my street. What we got here? Yes, let's have a little bit of this. Call this up and load. Initials, secondary.
Does it have a filter knob on it like this?
Oh,
Self-oscillating filters.
that did.
On a fucking Porta Studio, no less. Rather a workstation. I mean.
Get in there, you little bastard. That should be £5 plug to me. Yeah. I'll tell you what I did notice. There was a update, software update on the Rise. And after I did the update, on this is on the old Rise, Slide was available in Spitfire Orchestra. And I
Very
think that's
nice.
the only thing I've ever found that actually supported the slide. Ever.
You mean that you didn't assign it to yourself?
No, it was doing it naturally. It was adding,
Right.
adding the vibrato.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think slide's actually what you would call a CC number as such. Like not the slide that way, the slide up and down the
No,
key.
I understand. Up and down the key,
Yeah.
forward and back from where
Yeah.
you're sitting. But,
So it's only been sort of like the dedicated plugins, Roly plugins that have done the.
but
that
I
way.
think you can map it.
I think you can now because of.
I'm pretty sure you can because that's why other people are able to write MPE patches that respond to it.
Yeah, I think it's based on the some firmware update and dashboard update that was done.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the Spitfire stuff has always been sort of like, nah, not interested, not going there. And then I had cello doing it automatically with the vibrato on it. It was like, oh, That's nice.
Spitfire vibrato was normally just CC21.
Yeah, but originally you couldn't assign a CC to
To Adam Rowley.
slide. Yeah. There's only, I mean, the sliders at the end. I mean, you could assign CCs to. Yeah, I like this keyboard. I think it will take a little time to like get really comfortable with it over the old one. But I think that's mostly from playing the old one so much.
Do you play on the strip in front of the keys very much?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. How's
Yeah,
that
quite-
feel? Does
quite a
that
lot.
feel about the same?
Yeah, that feels about the same. The
Okay,
pitch
good.
between the keys seems to be exactly the same. Because you know, it's like you play it, but you don't try to look at it when you're playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes looking at it confuses the issue.
So are you telling me I should take a punt on it when it eventually becomes available next year?
Yeah. If not, go for the Osmos. But it is a lot cheaper than the Osmos, I must admit. I know I'm going to have to find room for the Osmos. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but if we're talking about expression, I'm there, baby.
Who needs expression anyway?
Your expression has been liberated in honor of your 7th decade beginning.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hi, Fiona.
Thank you.
hi, Fee.
Sorry, Danny?
How long did it take to program that, Robert?
Unhand that gentleman.
Do you want anything while I'm there?
No, I'm fine.
Not very long. It's relatively easy
You're
to
going to have to
respect.
show them off. Here we go. I'm wearing loads of gold bling. Aren't I?
Ooh.
Yes. Thank you, darling. I'm absolutely positive, thank you.
You got a Bailey's there?
Yeah, but she wants to show off the Blade Runner flask that she got me.
Oh, how nice.
Not that Rich would know anything
Where
about
can
that.
I get one of those?
Watch the film first.
No.
Now I've got to figure out, do you drink from the side or the corner?
Me watching the film at this point is no fun for anybody. It's much more fun me not having seen it.
Basically square glass of the salt. She said it was so expensive, so she thought she was getting 2. And she opened the box and said, "Oh, there's only 1 in here."
Oh, I see.
Because they're sold in sets of 1. Yeah, exactly. It says on the website, apparently, sets of 1.
Some sort of logical dissonance in that very
It's like that
statement.
thing I told you earlier, wasn't it? We had some cheese earlier. She got one of these cheese things, and it has these fingers of different types of cheeses. And written on the wrapper is, "may contain milk."
Yeah, I love that.
I thought it was like, what? How can you have it? I don't know. It's ridiculous. That's nice. I like that.
Good. You should like everything on your birthday.
Well, particularly whiskey.
Okay.
That's
That falls in the class of everything
yeah.
in our logical discussion.
That I am coming back for more on that one. That is nice. That's sweet. So sweet. What else has been happening in the world?
Right, I think Richard's been taking a course on empirical logic.
No, I took that in college. I had a lesson. I had a lesson with the European guru for this instrument this week on Zoom, and that's like sort of the most exciting thing that happened to me. One of the most exciting things that happened to me this week, because the documentation, as is usually the case with Roland, is appalling.
Oh,
And-
no.
Oh, it's god awful. Yeah, I mean, it's all in there somewhere, but you'll never find it, and it's not even indexed.
Yes.
And just and in order to find it, you've got to go through 3 different books. First of all, while I'm on a rant, this piece of shit right here has nothing, practically nothing in it. It's barely a cursory description of what the instrument is, let alone how to operate it. And then there's a reference guide and a parameter guide. And between those two, I think I might be able to find my way to the corner grocery store in about 4 or 5 hours. It's horrible trying to navigate their damned literature. And there's so much in the thing that it's really a bit overwhelming. So I was really glad to have this lesson with Max Fattori, who is in
Well
a lot
done,
of
Max.
Roland Day, huh? Max is
I'm saying
great.
well done, Max.
Yeah, Max was great, and we're buddies, and it's going to be good. And he'll be responsive to my questions, and they were responsive to a feature request already, which I was very pleased about.
Oh, cool.
Because there's just this ridiculous glaring omission of there's no copy zone, a zone being a layer. Let's call for colloquially, it's basically a layer.
Yeah.
I need to be able to copy and paste that bad boy. I don't want to have to recreate all that again. To pan them or whatever, to do anything, or put it in another patch, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, just let me buffer the damn thing and paste it somewhere. And they don't have any. And I looked high and low through all of those 3 reference books, and they don't have any. And he confirmed for me that they don't have any, and he thought it was a great idea. So he claims that they're going to do it. And I'll be very interested to see if that happens, because the thought that I might have somebody who's got a direct line to those guys in Japan is appealing to me. And he's a nice man and a talented musician, and he knows the instrument inside and out. And those are the most important qualities I need from him right now. And then what else? I played a whole bunch of guitar today because I've been playing this damn, computer next to me for the whole week, and I just needed to touch something that vibrates, and I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Good job, Matt's not here.
Yep. He'd have a fanar session out of that one.
Oh, well, that's the really not vibrate. I thought it was a feature with that silicon overlay.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Touching the vibration is not to be overestimated. It is a wonderful thing.
I normally avoid doing that on the piano because people don't like that sound.
I love reaching into the piano.
Mm.
Talking about touching the piano.
Did you ever do that thing where you put your arm down on the low strings and then play the higher notes
Yeah, yeah,
and then hear it resonating?
yeah.
Yeah. I thought I discovered spring reverb that way, but
Well, people have put a brick
Robert
on.
Schumann. Yeah, Robert Schumann wrote a piece where he tells you to do it, but I didn't realise that when I was only 13 and doing that and going, wow, that's like a ding-ding-ding, and then you get these harmonics resonating. That's amazing about a piano, isn't it? Anyway,
Well,
sorry, I just...
There's a thing where people put like a cinder block on the sustain pedal, and then a saxophone player goes out and plays into the lid of the piano, and it excites the strings.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
It's a
of course.
beautiful thing to do. It's fun. It is actually, you're actually interacting with the vibration, which is the cool thing. I mean, piano is a machine.
Yeah.
And a pianist is a machine operator. And you're so far from the vibration when you're playing the keys that it's practically, it's as disconnected as one of these things, almost. Which is what's great about the Rolly, because it actually provides a very convincing illusion of being attached to the sound. Just like this thing provides a convincing illusion of being a synthesizer in some ways. So at this point in my life, I'm dabbling in one illusion after the next. I'm happy for it.
I think the dogs were having an argument over Brexit downstairs. What are you doing?
Who's in, who's out?
They're arguing about what's coming out of that USB-C port.
Mostly that at the moment.
That's got a nice buzzing around my head kind of vibe to it.
That's OBE on the Rolly. But there's something else going on. It might be actually OBE that's doing it. Let me have a look.
You know, I think Frank Zappa did an album called Civilization Phase 3, where much of it was performed into a piano with the sustain pedal held down by musicians. I seem to recall that he did an album like that. And to speak to Andy's point, even though he's not here anymore, I can sit at the piano downstairs and just play something up and sit back and listen to it decay for like 45 seconds to a minute. And as you listen to it decay, different frequencies bubble to the surface and recede. And over the course of the entire time, there's changes going on. There's this subtle modulation taking place. And I just find it absolutely glorious. It's like one of my favorite things to do with the piano.
Well, that's because your piano is intentionally not in tune. Because, of course, you don't tune a piano by fundamentals, you tune it by overtones, so that sounds better. Because the enharmonicity of the actual metalwork, of the actual string, meaning that the tension being so different across the registers, it is completely unrelated. It's like tuning it. There are many approaches to tuning a piano, and everyone is wrong.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, but that's what's beautiful about it. Anyway.
That's a beauty.
Yeah.
There's a great paper from a Dutch university about how that is tuning a piano and entropy. How it's basically all about dealing with the entropy of a piano and sorting the system. It's truly fascinating. It also gets very philosophical very quickly.
So one of the first things I did when I got a decent sampler, which was Ensoniq back in the late 80s, was take a piano sample and tune it to a key. In other words, rather than to equal temperament, pick, I think it was A major. I don't remember what it was, but it was not tuned to equal temperament. It was something I read, and I found out how to enter, and I listened to it because I wanted to see what that sounded like. Because at some point before equal temperament, that's what they were dealing with, and it sounds great when you play in that key, and then you play anything else. Like if you transpose that same piece up a minor third, it's an absolute disaster. It's just like nails on a blackboard. But when you play that major chord in the key that the thing is tuned to, it's like the sun comes up for that moment.
Yeah. More whiskey. Oh, it's nice. Not too bad for somebody who doesn't drink.
Oh, I've just got a notification telling me that Popes has got a premiere in 30 minutes. Oh no.
That's a good response on that. I think they tightened up the resolution on it as well, Rick.
Good.
It's rather sweet.
If I'm, I'll start stockpiling. I'm not. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but I may not stop at 2. Like this
No,
will be my second one. I may get another one.
I'd
And
wait
you all
until
know
they're
that I don't-
second hand on eBay, though.
Pardon me?
I'd wait until they're second hand on eBay.
No, I don't want a used one. I want a new one.
Oh. Okay.
No, if I'm going to stockpile them, I'm going to buy them new and let them and treat them right. Gonna treat my Rolly
Are
right.
you prepared to wait that long, boy?
Let's hope that I am. I feel like I am. How long did I wait for this thing next to me, for crying out loud?
Well, yeah.
The better part of a year?
You do get the feeling, though, that, Rolly's going to turn around to you and go, you don't belong here. You turn around and head on out.
They're going to say, what's your credit card number?
Yeah. How long can
That's
you
what
wait?
they're going to say.
You're not going to hold out for an Osmos, then?
Those poor guys. I mean, I know I like to kid about it a lot, but I really feel sorry for pretty much everybody involved here because much as I don't hold out much hope that it's going to be something I want to play, I'd like to be wrong about that. I was wrong about it with Rolly. I didn't think Rolly would be something I wanted to play, and as we all know, I love playing the thing. So I'd like, I don't mind being wrong about something like that. I just don't think I want physical keys that are that slippery. I like the Rolly concept where it's me moving, not the key.
Yeah, yeah.
That part appeals to me a lot. And when I'm playing it, I feel like my old days playing trombone, really, when I'm playing melody.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's, there's a few dimensions on it. Andy!
Andy!
Howdy, gentlemen. How you doing?
Oh,
Whoa.
from inside his sock.
It's probably hold on. Probably the shitty microphone. Is that
There
better?
you go. No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's good. Now you've taken out your
Fine.
pocket, it's much better.
Yeah, I should sound like crap. I just woke up from a nap, so.
All you had to do was take the blanket out of your mouth.
Yeah. I heard you guys talking about Rolly. Did you get yours, Rich?
Kent got his.
I got
haven't
mine.
gotten
Oh, you did. Oh.
Ours are delayed because of FCC certification, but they apparently have passed that and started shipping the first batch, and I'm in batch 2. So it shouldn't be very long.
Oh, it won't be long.
Interesting.
Because that's a batch 2 one as
It's
well.
okay, I don't
so-
have any place to put it now.
So,
I need to be able to see this thing as clearly as possible while I'm working on it.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
The Rolly is.
so what's the
sitting on
verdict, Kent?
top-
I'm sure you already told everybody, but what's the
Pardon?
what's the verdict? Is it as good as you wanted it to be?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got tighter resolution, definitely. Did I say it was firmer or softer? Do you know what? I can't remember.
Has that little peak on the keys? Is that useful?
Yeah, that seems to help because by hitting that peak, you're always going to hit that peak when you touch the key, which means that you're always going to hit precisely the center of the key.
Right.
So from a coordination point of view,
It's like
you
MPE
get
Braille.
going a lot quicker. Yeah, exactly.
MPE Braille. That's
Yeah, there you
good,
go.
Andy.
That's a good line.
That's
That's
good.
a good line.
So yes, it's not bad at all. So far so good. I like the
Did you
idea.
try
of
the USB
C.
MIDI yet? Does that actually work standalone?
Yep.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, it's working. I haven't Bluetoothed it to a Mac yet. That'd be interesting.
Have you tried that to a USB? You don't have a USB converter, do you? Like a host?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I want to try. I want to try MPE via host to an actual MIDI hardware that has MPE.
that might be. Let's have a look, because we've got this puppy. haven't
Because that's true MIDI then. It doesn't need a damn computer at all, right?
Be interesting to see if it can transmit on both at the same time. Let's plug that in. I hope that's not a power socket.
Yeah, I missed 2 sales already. I missed the launch sale, and I missed the Black Friday sale, and I have to wait for a while. So I'm not paying full price. There's no way. Even though I like it,
Yeah.
it's a lot. You save a lot of money when you get the deal. So
So, Robert, I'm going to answer your question here instead of in chat. Related to Chic and using Roly keyboards, the problem there is that Chic does not employ a keyboard tech. Russell and I tech our own gear. We don't set up our own gear, but we tech our own gear. And in order to be able to bring Rollies out on the road, you would need somebody whose job was to maintain and operate that rig as part of the crew. Otherwise, we're joining the crew, and we don't have time to join the crew. So as a logistical matter, it's not likely to happen, but in rare occasions where we play in New York and I need to do something that isn't well done on one of these things, I would bring it, and I have brought it once before, and they begged me to bring it on the road. And I just can't without, significant, we'd need personnel and a bunch of gear to make that work.
Is Expressive having to run all the computer systems related to it because it doesn't have its own sound engine?
Set it up and maintain it, and I bet I don't work on the crew's schedule. That stuff all has to be set up in advance. I have to be able to walk in and show up at soundcheck and play, which means that there has to be somebody on the crew that is responsible for making that happen for not just me, but for Russell as well, and there isn't somebody. And I don't think they have any intention of getting anybody at the moment. So that logistically, to me, rules out having to do that. You'd have to buy redundant gear and multiple keyboards, and
what would be more interesting is how well the Roly would survive touring.
That also is a question, which is why you would definitely need at least a few of them around.
Well, yeah, there's probably one you don't want to travel with, but one to be close to that you could, in an emergency, get shipped out.
I have actually carried mine around on a tour once, and didn't end up using it enough while I was on the road to make it worth having brought, but it was nice to have it when I wanted it. So in other words, if it was traveling with the band's gear, that wouldn't be a problem for me. But you need somebody to operate it. It can't be me. I can walk up on stage and operate these various romplers and workstations or whatever else I'm playing, but to have an offstage rig that involves either synthesizers in a rack or computers running software, you need a guy to tend to that.
But obviously, now with it having a MIDI output, you could, in theory, run it into the Phantom.
Yeah, I'm not babysitting this thing. I don't know how many different ways to say it. I don't have time to join the crew.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's only one. It's one cable more.
You don't walk. No, it isn't. It's sound check every day in a different city. You don't understand. I mean, for one gig, that's fine. I've brought this thing to one gig. When you're touring for 3 months, playing 4 or 5 nights a week, having that extra burden of having to make sure that thing is there and plugging it in and getting it, it might work and it might not work. No, you need personnel. It's not something I can do. So that's the answer to your question. Whether you agree with me or not, that's the answer to the question.
now for traveling fun, you don't like the mini one, right?
No. I'm not playing that on stage. If I can.
No, not on stage, for traveling, just for.
Oh, I've brought it, and one of them fell apart, and they had to replace it.
Oh no.
Yeah. The keyboard separated from the bass, and I got to see the magic jelly underneath and all that. No. It's not. I don't need to be carrying gear.
To answer your question, Andy, it transmits MPE to hardware over 5.
Can you do without a computer? You have a converter, like a USB host to
That's
MIDI
plugged
DIN?
in. Yeah, it's the 3.5 to 5-pin DIN cable that comes with it. But what is interesting, it transmits out the USB at the same time, so I can play another patch on the computer.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be able to do that, but there you go.
That's cool.
So I can find a sound that actually is polyphonic. That would be fucking wonderful at this point.
Now you can make it by timbrel. That's great.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, sustained sounds. So I'll get rid of them. Not tempo sunk. Yeah, it's doing all the MPE stuff to the Hydra, but at least the poly aftertouch and the.
And no extra controls on it. Looks just like a Rise 1, basically.
Yeah, I mean, on the Rise, you would have to plug directly in, and then you're not communicating with anything else. But so far, I've got this talking to both things at the same time out of two different sockets, which is.
Oh, good.
That's cool.
Are you using the MIDI cable to go to the Hydra synth?
Yes, I'm using the
I see.
USB-C into the computer, playing the
Right.
hang on,
Equator or whatever.
that sound into Equator.
That's good to know. That was the major selling point for me. I mean, I liked them anyway, but
Yeah.
they really needed a proper MIDI out.
And then the Hydra.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
And they seem to match each other. Instead of getting that differential stuff. So, yeah, cool.
Well, I would think that's because Hydra synth would have to be set up for pitch bend at 48.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah, anyway. So, well, I've never had to set it, so clearly it
Right.
defaults to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did it
cool.
come with a no travel case too, like the Rise 1 did?
No.
Oh,
But the box it comes in is almost exactly the same. It's all padded on the inside.
oh, sure.
So the box it comes in is kind of your travel case, and it's quite.
I like the bag though. The bag is really nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie's crying. I guess that's because
Hi,
of
Robbie.
the outcome.
Hello.
Hello,
I'm
darling.
not crying.
Hey, Robbie.
I'm a little tired, but I'm not crying.
Blade Runner
But we
Plus.
did lose the football, yes. So
Ah.
Well,
Is that
I
some
thought
sort
Italy
of-
didn't even qualify.
Is that some sort of
yes,
sport?
well, I'm lucky. I have two teams because I
Not
can.
anymore.
Not anymore. No.
Whiz.
From tonight onwards, I'm officially Moroccan for the next week or so because those guys did a stunning job, and I want them to win it. They won't, but I really want them to. So anyway, there you go. Football, schmuckball.
I'm going to duck out now, folks. I'm
Oh,
gonna,
fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Well,
Hi,
I'm sick
darling.
of
Enough
seeing
of
you,
you already.
Robbie.
Was it something I said again?
No. Honestly, I'm
He's
going
been
to.
full of snide remarks towards me all
No,
day.
I have. I really have. It's just so true, Robbie. I'm most
Don't know why
humbly,
don't know
I
why
was-
I take it anymore.
I most grumbly apologise. So,
That's good seeing you, Andy.
yeah, and you too, Richard. Yeah, always great to hear your stories because
Yeah.
they just make me. I sit and laugh.
I hope we'll
It's-
meet up next year when I'm in England.
Oh, yes, definitely. I really hope we can make that happen. That'd
Yeah,
be
man.
great. Right, anyway, I will see you all at some pub opening eventually.
At some point.
Stay well,
Andy,
Paul.
always
Right,
see at the
yeah.
grand opening of something.
Yeah. Hammers
not-
in hand, ready to break things. I'll say it before
Try not
you
to
do.
break anything. Yes, that's what I was just
Yeah, I've got such a reputation I don't deserve.
I know, I understand.
Julian Clary joking there somewhere.
Yeah.
There must be. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Take care, folks. We'll catch up soon.
Tatty bye.
Take
Yeah.
care, darling.
Oh, there you go. That was the source of the. My next question was going to be, where's that noise coming from? That really high pitched noise, and it was Andy.
Oh, poor old Andy. His voice isn't that bad. What happened to the what a wanker?
What a wanker.
Thank you. It's tradition.
Sorry, a little bit off the ball. I need to get. I can't stay late because I've got to be up 10 to 5.
So you have the two
good
rises
sounding
stacked,
filter.
Kent, like a double manual.
Yeah, no, they'd have to be triple because they'd have to have the grand under that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, the Grand can stand on its own.
I'll make up something over here, perhaps. Rise all these monitors can go up, and they'll put 3-tier in there.
Now the Grand had proper MIDI out, right? Or no?
God, I'm trying. No.
Because it's a standalone.
Yeah, it just had a standard USB out.
Oh, okay, but it didn't transmit like this one does.
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember now. I think it does.
It does.
Yeah, it
I
does.
hope so.
Yeah, it does. I think it was probably just one. It's just that fundamental part that they just whipped over and put into the.
So they already had it figured out. They just didn't put it in the other ones. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's only 4
Fellas,
dimensions.
I'll be right back.
Oh, but yeah, the Grand's only 4 dimension, where the Rise is 5.
So all those rises, you've got more jelly than Robertsons, haven't you?
Probably.
How is it?
It's really nice.
Bloody ought to be.
It took long enough to get here.
Yeah.
I did thank the 2 snails that brought it to the door. So, yeah, Robbie.
What's that?
Blade Runner glass.
Oh, very nice.
All the way from Italy.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Have you had a good birthday?
Yeah, it's been good. I had cheese.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday. Sorry about that.
That's all right, bud. Some drinking alcohol for the first time.
Blimey.
When you celebrate with a Blade Runner glass, you have to play that music from the bar in the back of the doo doo
Yeah.
doo doo doo.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's the emulator one when you need it?
I'll
In
fire
the
it up
office.
then.
Still there.
Oh, dear.
You have to sit next to a guy named Taffy.
Yeah.
Anytime, pal.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. And she got me a decanter shaped like a stormtrooper.
Nice.
And Ty got me this T-shirt. He said he saw it and thought it was very apt.
I can't remember where it is now.
What are you looking for? Your memory?
Yeah, that too.
Where did I leave that?
Oh, I saw your video with Charlie doing the food dance. That was awesome. Little pirouettes and stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah. And he does this little tap dance at the end.
Yeah, a little bit with the feet,
Spin
but
and
mostly the
ta-ta-ta.
pirouette was in that video.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. But it's always the same thing. The pirouette and then ta-ta-ta.
And the
Don't worry. Oh, you're here. Where's your mate? The jumper snuggler is here. You're bad.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, go on then.
Yay.
All that for that.
Yeah.
But you do want to go up to that synth player and just smack him in the head with a glass.
What was the source of that? Is that a dub track from somewhere, or what is that?
It's emulator one library.
But I mean, it's where'd they get it from? Do you recognize the source? There's a
Is it one of? I can't remember. It's one of those.
some old dub track. It sounds like.
And then, of course, you also need on top of that. I can't remember what that's called. There is. No, it's not this one, is it? Or is it this one? No. I can't remember where that is now. Because you got that. No, it's not that. Remember what that was called, that patch? Oh, there you go. There you go. That played over the... And that is from a thing that's well known, but I can't remember what it is now. It's not that well known.
So, was that actually a split pack on the emulator with like drum loop on the lower keys and
I think so, yeah.
the saxophone on the higher?
Yeah. And if I could be asked, I'd set it up, but I can't. I really can't. So.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Actually, it reminds me, I need to get on my emulator samples over to my sample trick. Got all the Fairlight stuff on there now. It's quite fun to play with.
Are those emulator one samples hard to get? Or are they? Those are standard.
No, the emulator stuff is pretty widespread out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one you have to look for as the Blade Runner sample, or how did you find it?
I think it's. I don't know if this particular library has it named correctly, as it was on the disc. It's called on this. It's called Smooth Trumpets, but I think it was something else on the actual emulator library. But
it's funny, it never made it to Emacs.
Well,
A lot of the stuff made it over to Emacs.
I don't think anything from the E1 really made it too much over to the E2.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah, the E2 was more into the Emacs, but
I love that guitar sound that Jan Hammer used in Miami Vice a few times. It's that emulator 2 kind of gate reverb on a guitar sound. I don't know if you know that sound. It's really, really cool.
the thing is, with anything that was sample based back then, it could have, everyone said, oh yeah, it was an emulator sound or it was a Fairlight sound. There was so much fucking interbreeding, and cross pollination, shall we say, that lots of people say, oh, there, because what was it? The E2 shakuhachi was attributed to something that wasn't an E2 for a while. I know that when Peter Gabriel used it, he wasn't using the emulator. He was using, or was he? No, he might have done, actually.
I thought they had emulators on stage.
No, I'm just because when I remember, so Steve Howell worked with Gabriel on the Passion album, and he was telling me, like he did all the sampling for Gabriel on that album, and he was telling me some stories about the supposed origins of certain things and how he discovered while working with Peter that they weren't as many had thought. I can't remember what that one was, but yes.
Did you already have a WaveFrame during Passion? Was that later?
I think that might have been. Wasn't that a bit later?
Or was that during Us when he had?
Yeah, it was. I think actually it was. Yeah, pretty sure.
It's funny. The one of the so-called famous users of the WaveFrame was actually Richard Band, is Charles Band's brother, I think, for all the Empire Pictures crappy movies like Ghoulies and all that stuff. And so he's using nice equipment to make decent music for crap movies.
I mean, Chris Franke was probably the biggest user. I mean,
was he? Yeah.
All the keyboard sounds in the default sound library were from him. Yeah. He heavily used it throughout the 90s and late 80s.
It's an interesting collection. I mean, I've got the UVI library, which
UVI has a thing.
Was endorsed by. I don't think it was endorsed by WaveFrame directly, but it was endorsed by the people that were behind WaveFrame.
Oh wow!
So it's about as close as you'll get without actually getting your hands on one and sampling it yourself. But it was a pretty bland looking thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, no one ever had it. That's why I didn't know much about it. I mostly saw stuff in stores.
If it was just like a 12U black rack box, and it's just a 12U rack computer with a floppy drive at the front, and all the connections at the back. So I mean, it definitely doesn't stick out like something that says Synclavier on it in very bright lettering,
exactly.
or a white box.
Yeah, Exactly.
Keyboard Magazine always advertised, but no stores ever had it.
No, but it was stupidly expensive, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
You know, and then it basically ended up just becoming a digital audio workstation because being used for that.
yeah.
One funny thing about the Fairlight you were talking about, our noise is so famous for their Fairlight use, but I swear that choir in Paranoia is a Kurzweil K250. So either they had one of those or they sampled it in the Fairlight, because it's the damn Kurzweil choir for sure.
But again, you know, it's cross pollination.
Yeah.
There's every chance it was a Kurzweil in the studio. Why not? You know. Doesn't have
Yeah, they
to.
just never talk about it, which is weird. So I guess it's not cachet, you know.
But there's not a lot known about anything out of noise-wise after the first albums, really.
Right.
What it was equipment-wise.
I mean,
Well, I
there
think
was always a Fairlight or two around, but
They never published a list in their albums. I can't remember.
no.
No, but like with the Into Battle and Who's Afraid, it's very easy what it was. Basically Fairlight, Wave 2, and the memory mode most
Yeah.
of the time, I think.
They were the
Not
three
a-
staples, yeah.
And
Sure.
Lindrum or...
But as JJ said on when we had him on the show, you know, a lot of the time it was a lot of the stuff that you hear is Gary's magic, you know, that he does with the stuff. You know, he takes those sounds and just makes them.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you can go through a Fairlight library and say, oh yeah, that's kind of art of noise, but it doesn't sound as good, and that's because it's not been langened, as we say. So.
Also, you buy those. I used to buy Fairlight samples on a CD-ROM or something like that, because that's all I could get. And I go, hey, this doesn't sound like it either, because they're not going through the magic hardware, you know. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's that. I mean, I didn't believe it when I was sort of like first really getting into Fairlights and libraries, and people saying, "Oh yeah, it's all very well getting the samples, but it doesn't sound like a real Fairlight." And you think, "No, yeah, fucking gear snobs, you know, whatever."
Yes.
Until you actually get in the room with the Fairlight and turn it on
Yeah.
and play those sounds, particularly, you know, low down in the register, and you think, "Okay, yeah, maybe they were saying some true things." So it does add. It does indeed. Aye. So did you enjoy the sample track thing today?
Me?
Well, anyone.
Oh,
You were there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Sure, yeah.
I was talking to
Chris
Chris afterwards.
is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him afterwards, and he said, "Oh, I'm glad you helped me out in a couple of things that I didn't know." And I said, "Really? What?" And he said, "Yeah, and some of the things that Rands does, or did." He said, "I'd never tried that." So we're all still learning it, you know. We're all still finding our way around it. But the new firmware has sorted a few things out. So yeah, that's good. What you found?
No, I'm just perusing a moment, sort of like, what's going on? Why are certain things not working?
Do you know, I really do need to get my glasses sorted out, because I'm sat here and I can't read the comments, but if I put my glasses on,
Yeah.
I can only. I see. I've got these varifocals that have 3 different prescriptions, but the next time I'm going to have to get bigger glasses. I'm going to have to do Trevor Horns or something, because the distance between the top, the middle, and the bottom. So the bottom is like for up here, and then the middle should be for this, and then the top should be distance. And at the moment, like the angle of tilt that my head has to go through is so narrow to get it in the spot to sit here and comfortably read those comments on the screen.
No, you just get computer glasses where they're like massively oversized.
Exactly. Well, this is
that are the 2 focal planes you need, and then have the normal ones for.
well when I had these ones, because this is my second set of varifocals, and the first set, I think the frames are a little sort of taller, so it wasn't so bad. But now my eyes are getting worse. When I had these ones, she said, "Oh, would you like us to do a separate set of computer glasses for work?" And I said, "Well, can I do that with this?" And she said, "Well, you can, and we can do something around the edges to help with that sort of thing." And I said, "Well, okay, do that then," because I go to Specsavers, I think, and they do the 2-for-1 deal. So I can either have 2 sets of glasses for the price of one, or I can have 1 set of glasses and have my reactor light coatings instead of a second set of glasses. And because I like the fact that I can just wear these as like all day, everywhere, rain or shine. So I think I'm actually going to have to invest and spend some money. Hello.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, darling.
Hello.
See how to go like that? Yeah, Dennis Taylor choppies. Yeah, they were funny old things, weren't they? No, I think I need to get a set of just separate computer glasses, and then fucking things, eyes, jeez. I'm still waiting for my bloody glaucoma operation. 10 months now.
Well, I expect years on the NHS waiting list.
Well, yeah. I phoned them up a couple of months ago and just, am I on the list? Oh, yes, you're definitely on the list, but you're just going to have to wait. This is non-urgent, I suppose.
The old trick was just doing weed, right? Is that no longer a treatment?
I don't know. I don't do weed anymore. So.
Well, you could do edibles,
Well, that's true. Yeah, could do.
little candies and stuff.
Brownies.
No, don't do the brownies. Big mistake. I had those once, and it was miserable for hours. You get
Nobody
3
can
times
tell
the
the
dose.
difference.
Well, hash brownies are an important thing of university life.
I'm just telling you, when you expect 5 milligrams and you get 15, you're in a whirl of hurt.
Ooh.
No. It's like that cop who was dating this girl, and they wanted to try some marijuana brownies and had never tried it before, and they felt so bad, that falling feeling you get and your heart racing and all that stuff. They called 911 and said, "Help, we're dying." It's a cop.
Wow.
Is it bad of me to say that I've never done that?
Well, I didn't until about 2 years ago. So,
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
and I hate smoking, so I never smoked it.
No, I just know that I have an addictive personality, and once I get into shit like that, it'll go off big time. So, no.
I only
You
gave
just
it
get
up
really
to go for
relaxed,
cigarettes, so,
you know.
so
Yeah.
I figured if I was not going to smoke cigarettes, there's no point me smoking a joint. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that. 2 birds with 1 stone.
A mate of mine was making cannabis oil because his mum had cancer. She had a terminal diagnosis, and he fucked up one night and spilt a bit. Right, cleaned it all up. His brother said, "Oh, we'll go out." So he's gone in, sat in the car, and he's licked his hand. Well, apparently, the next thing he realised, he thought he was turning into a maggot. Apparently, woof, gone. Like, way, way off. This shit is so strong, apparently.
No.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
whipped him right out. Nah, not that.
Too much and you're just not functional. It's worse than being drunk.
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't do that anymore. So. God, I'm such a boring twat. Oh, man. Is it
I
all
took someone on
working?
a hike once for Yosemite. Just I'll have a little bit and go on a hike. The whatever I took was so strong I couldn't get out of my car seat. I just took a nap.
Is it all working, Kent?
Yeah, it appears to be.
In Cubase as well or not?
Yeah, it is in Cubase as well now.
Excellent.
Apparently, NASA's Orion capsule that's returning to Earth from the moon has just passed Harry Kane's penalty.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, do you know,
Yeah.
I was on my way to my girlfriend's when he fucking took that. I missed it.
So did he.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
He's here all week.
I'm here all week. Trying to fish.
Aye. till Thursday.
He's the main guy, right? Isn't he generally a good shot?
Yeah, he's England's joint top scorer now, I think. And
God help us.
no, it was one of those things. I think he just, I don't know.
Choked?
No, he didn't choke. He leant back a little bit too far, and the ball just went over the bar. Yeah, it's penalty kicks. They're one of those things you think it.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. It's just 1-on-1. It's a game of. I mean, the other thing it didn't help was the keeper. The French keeper is Harry Kane's teammate from Spurs, so they know each other really, really well. So Kane knows which way Lloris will go, and Lloris knows pretty much which way Kane will go.
Yeah.
And he sent the keeper the wrong way both times, but unfortunately on the second time, he sent the ball the wrong way too. So,
I love when they have the guys lie down because guys like Messi get through the legs really easily.
Yeah,
So the guys will lie down with the legs.
Yeah, the draft excluder. Yeah, that's a fairly new thing though, isn't it? It's only sort of like the last couple of years or so that the draft excluders come in. I mean, I can't think why people haven't done it before. Maybe they have.
Yeah.
It is because players were taking advantage of the wall jumping to knock it, and they just slide it underneath, and it would. No, it actually did. As long as Croatia can put Argentina out, which they're more than capable of doing,
Luka Modric, yeah.
then this will actually. I'm really hoping for a Croatia-Morocco final.
That would be
because
something, wouldn't it?
two nations who have always been on the cusp of being pretty decent. Croatia more than Morocco for sure, but Morocco is still sort of like Africa's most successful kind of football team, I guess. They were the first to qualify for the World Cup. They were the first to progress from the group stages and what have you. So it would be great for the game of football if Croatia and Morocco got through. I can't see. I don't know. Morocco, France. I don't know, but then Morocco have put out Portugal, Spain, and Belgium. So it's going to be interesting.
But then France and bloody Argentina aren't afraid to play a little dirty, are they?
France aren't so bad. Argentina are just classless dogs. In terms of the football, I mean, what they did the other night against Holland at the end of the penalty shootout was just shocking.
Did you see
Shocking.
Did you see what Messi was doing when he was being interviewed?
No.
He apparently the guy had a mic in his face, and he was calling. I forget the guy's name. One of the Dutch players walked past. It was, "Come here, dummy! Come on, dummy! Let's have a go." Yeah, he was giving it right big, and it was just, nah.
What did they do at the end of the match? I missed it.
So at the end of the penalty shootout, because it was a penalty shootout for the game. Of course, the Dutch players are all sort of like huddled together, and the Argentine players, having just won, go bursting past the Dutch players, and most of the time they'll go sort of running to their keeper and they'll celebrate, and then it'll just be the standard sportsman-like handshakes and condolences and that kind of thing. But the entire squad ran past the Dutch squad and were just giving it all that gestures and shouting stuff at them, and it was just it's classless. It's not very sportsman-like, but they're known for it. A lot. Even like it's like when Brazil were playing South Korea, and they first half they were rampant and they scored those 4 goals in quick succession. Each goal celebration was like bigger and more flamboyant than the last, and even the manager gets involved and they're doing these little dances, and I'm thinking, well, okay, yeah, you're celebrating a goal, but you're really kind of what you're actually doing is you're rubbing the South Koreans' faces in it a bit, and it was just it's most football teams are better than that.
And then you got after the Croatia, was it Brazil game? Mm-hmm. Luka Modric going over and consoling. Different world, isn't it?
Absolutely different. And even tonight, France, England, at the end of the game, everyone's shaking hands. Because, I mean, to be fair, a lot of them play against each other in the Premier League or whatever. So they're all, pretty good friends and stuff. And it was respectful, and that's what you normally get at the end of a game. But the Argentinians were just like, ugh.
They're all just wired from drinking too much yerba mate.
Well, if they're anything like Maradona, even. Although Madonna would have been quite good at
Madonna's
right
hand
back.
of God.
Yeah,
She would have terrified the shit out of him just by looking at him.
Playing with that bullet brothing. Yeah. So.
yeah. No, but Maradona was a right cokehead, wasn't he? So
Hand of God, yeah, he floated into it.
yeah. Anyway, never mind.
It was pretty fun to watch what I could see. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan, but it was fun to watch for sure.
It's but to be fair, apart from the obvious things attached to this particular tournament, it's been an actually really good tournament in terms of football. You know, the actual sport and the game. It's been there's been some really good shocks. And
Well, that's the thing. It's been blown wide open, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's the nice thing about it.
You know, I think Argentina was sort of reckoned to be fairly, they were one of the favourites to kind of at least go to the finals. But Brazil, Portugal, Spain, Belgium, Germany, yeah. I mean, all of these big names that were, you would always expect at least in the quarterfinals, and virtually none of them were there apart from, say, Brazil and Portugal. So it's good. I think it's good for the game when you get, these smaller clubs or nations, should I say, doing well. So,
Speaking of Lucas, did he have a good birthday?
yeah, it's 17, so it's like it's not a milestone one. He went over. He went over to some friends on Friday night and had a little party, and then came home. But yeah, he was
Good.
Yeah. So next one.
Actually, over here, 17 is the official rated R age, even though nobody enforces it. But
well, he can now vote. Is it 17 or is it 18? Still?
18 over here.
18.
Yeah, it's still 18. Is I thought that. What can
They
he
should
do?
make it 21.
He can buy cigarettes and smoke. He can have
Join the
sex.
army.
He can join the army, yeah, but with permission.
And he can't leave, even better.
No, he can. If
Oh, it's like playing finally.
Oh no! Well, when my eldest signed up, because his biological dad was in the Royal Anglians, and so David just kind of felt, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So he left school at 16. Well, actually, he was already 16. He was like, it was one of those ones that had already turned 16 like the year before. So he was on his way to being 17. And he said, "No, I want to sign up. And so we actually went in with him because because he was under 18, you had to have the parents' permission. And basically, that first year, from 17 to 18, you go in, you do your basic training as you would anything else, but you can leave. You have the ability. I don't know if it's changed since, and much to Jackie's relief, he really didn't take to it. We had his sergeant on the phone at least 3 or 4 times trying to sort of explain what was going on and trying to get us to talk him round, but he was convinced. And I think because he knew he could go. When he found it tough, he was like, yeah, well, I'll go then. And he did. And look, I'm glad.
Not for everyone, is it?
It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. And I'm glad that he, because obviously this was what was he, 98, 2008? No, what was it, about 93, 2003? Yeah, so this would have been sort of like early mid-noughties.
Not a time to be in there.
Not a time, no. He'd have been deployed, to Afghan and or others.
Well, my mate I worked with, and then he left where we were working and joined up, and he was out in Helmand at Bastion, but he was doing communications with the guys doing the patrols. And when he came back, he was telling me stories. He said, we were right next to the Chinook landing pad, he said, and you'd have the reports coming in from the field of what's coming back. he said, so we knew the state of some of the people coming in. He said, and you go out and they'd have been removed from the helicopter, and there's guys chucking buckets of water through a Chinook, just washing out the blood and the rest of it. He said, and that sort of, makes you open your eyes.
Yeah.
And I've got other family members who are Royal Marines, and I've heard some stories from them that I won't repeat that were fucking horrific. It just wasn't. Yeah, it's not a pleasant thing to experience a proper, a war.
No, particularly one like that.
Yeah. There's some. My stubble was having a party with the mic. Is that me?
Yeah.
What, when I'm doing this?
No. Here.
It was a bit sandpapery, yeah.
I shaved earlier. Shouldn't be.
I think it might have been. Yeah, it's definitely that. I think it might have just been catching on you. What's it?
Oh, fucking hell. Sorry.
That's right. So we're kind of glad that he didn't. So
Yeah.
there we go. Could have been nasty.
Yes.
I know some people that served that became better people. Plenty of people that didn't become better people. So
Yeah, a friend of mine, her boy went. He's probably about the same sort of age as mine, and he was out there. He was, I can't remember what battalion, regiment, whatever it was, but he was doing the drone stuff. So sitting there with an Xbox controller, flying these drones around, surveillance drones and things. They'd stand on the top of a thing and just go like this, throw it, and then and so, I mean, yeah, he was like, he wasn't like a grunt on the ground with guns and shit. He was more sort of slightly behind that, but he changed. He became very bitter and sort of quite right wing, which was quite at odds with his mother, who was extremely left wing. But he was, and he just kind of took on that sort of attitude, I guess, and it was, yeah.
I suppose
he and I fell out a bit.
Well, I suppose it's A, your personality, and B, the experiences you have.
Exactly, yeah.
Kind of flip you. I mean, I know that when the two Royal Marines that I know went in, there's like an acceptance evening where you go. The parents went in with the boys as they were joining up, and the guy in charge said, "Right, we are going to take your boys. We are going to take them apart, and we're going to rebuild them."
Exactly what I was told, yeah.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I can't imagine as a parent what that must be like to hear that. We're going to dismantle your boy and turn him into something else.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. H is back.
Break them and make them.
Phase one of the attempt to get Dolby Vision to play on this magnificent television I bought has not been successful because there are apparently still cables in the chain that are not compatible. So I've just ordered 2 more cables, and I will do this all again in 2 days when they show up, and hopefully I will see the Dolby Vision of my dreams on this TV. The odd thing is, the old TV did get Dolby Vision through the same cables. Now, I'm not that messed up about the cost of replacing the cables. That's not really messing with me, but I'm just wondering, after I replace what's left of the cables between these 3 devices, whether I'm going to be dancing in the aisles or what.
Yeah, I had similar stuff with my 4K thing. I had certain cables that would happily do, all the 4K stuff.
Yeah, well, those are the ones I'm replacing now.
Right.
The 4K cables, and they actually say 4K on them.
Yeah. Well, I had some that would work on like my Apple TV, but they wouldn't work on my Blu-ray, or they would work on my satellite box, which is a 4K box, but they wouldn't work on the Apple. So it was just like a case of sitting down there one night and just plugging in and just eventually finding the cables that would do everything for each box, and there you go.
Well, it's the Apple TV I'm trying to use in Dolby
Right,
Vision,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
which is a brand new Apple TV.
Oh, well, that should be fine, shouldn't it? Yeah.
So, and it's a pretty it's a good. It's not a bottom end LG TV. It's in the C series. It's a C1, which is a nice TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the OLED technology,
Yeah.
and it really looks fantastic, even now at 4K HDR. So I can't wait to see what it looks like with Dolby Vision.
Yeah, I think that'll have to be on next on the list.
And it's really starting to smell great in here. I'm cooking a pulled pork down in the slow cooker right now, and we're about 4 hours into an 8-hour cook, and it's starting to smell great in here.
I'm guessing by the fact that he sat on his iPad, Kent managed to fix it.
Oh, yeah, he did that.
Yeah, it took 20 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Fix.
just go around the edge with a hot gun, pop off the retina, slap on the new one. All right,
Oh,
yeah,
you actually replaced the glass on your iPad?
Yeah, they have to replace the whole screen,
I see.
the whole retina
And
screen.
you were able to get a part delivered to you.
Yeah, it was overnight. It's
Cool.
off this website, this place that stores, stocks all these parts.
I see.
About
And
40
may I
mile up the
ask what
road.
it cost? I'm just curious to know.
Oh, it was 168 quid.
Damn.
Yeah, but it was one on eBay that the guy was flogging for 534.
I would say that's cheap because to do it in store, they charge you quite a bit. So
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
simple to do. It was ridiculous. Only 2 cables, and that you connect onto the little plugs, and then just put it back on. And done.
Excellent.
Yeah.
There's, Apple have just started doing their Apple service, self-service stuff over here now, haven't they?
What do you mean
Yeah.
by self-service?
So you're able to download service manuals and order parts directly from Apple,
I see.
which I think it's been in America for a little while now, but it's just launched over here. So yeah,
Well, they rent you all the kit to do the job as well, don't they?
yeah.
But you have to supply the serial number of the unit, which is a bit of a difficult thing if you've busted the screen and you can't read it.
My Apple toolkit right here.
Mm-hmm.
I should try to replace mine one day. I dropped my iPad Pro a couple years ago, and it's cracked and it still works fine, but it's ugly, and I can't lose that iPad because it has all the Wolfgang Palm apps on it. So never get those again.
No.
Yeah, no, with my one, the screen had gone. It goes like that. When you see on those YouTube videos where the guy with the virtual reality punches the TV and it goes in all the coloured lines.
Yeah.
Like that, because she accidentally bit it in the top corner. Put a tooth through it.
Is she all right? She didn't
She
hurt
was
herself.
fine. She was fine.
She's eaten worse.
She goes, "Oh, sorry, Dad, I damaged it." No, she was chewing a chew toy, but the iPad was under the quilt, and she grabbed the chew toy and obviously caught the iPad as well with it, just right through the whole bloody thing. Little moo. Apparently, she's eaten a hole in the fence because we've got a call from next door. They knocked on the door, and they go, "Oh, your dog out in the garden last night?" I went, "Yeah, I chased her in a couple of times for her barking because there's foxes having a fuck down in the field." And it's like, and these foxes are screaming. So he must be good. And he goes, yeah. He says, I went out in the back garden. He said, the security light out. He says, and your 4 dogs were at the bottom of my garden looking at me. I went, what? All of them? He said, yeah. He said the husky come out and goes, all this business. And then they went back through the hole that they've eaten in the fence. I'm like, I'll go down there and figure it out. So I went down, I've had to patch up the fence, so I've got to buy a new fence panel now and fit that. Buggers, little buggers.
Not sure about foxes, but cats scream because that actually hurts.
This is the 2
the male has the bar penis, it makes the pain and causes ovulation.
Well, this is it. They couldn't.
Robbie's just gone.
It's true. You want to hear
Yeah,
about
yeah.
decomposing bodies instead?
And how to get rid of them. No, what it is
Very
is
easy.
the two foxes are under the workshop, and they can't get in from the side. They can't get in from the front. So they thought, if we eat through the fence, we might be able to get round from the other to the other side of the workshop, where there may be some sort of entrance we can get to. So they just ate through the. It's like a great big hole. It was like something out of Tom and Jerry. Like perfect little, little bastard.
Somebody got an 808?
For some reason, I'd not downloaded a UVI library that I'd had on there for ages. And yeah, it's defaulted to a. Well, that's a CR78.
Yeah, that's a broken one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what the grief is.
a missold
France
one.
won today against England? Is that what happened? Is that why everybody... Oh, I get it. All right.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm honestly not that bothered.
Yeah, there's been
really.
some sort of.
There was a little bit of glee in Mr. Hilton's voice there.
No, I have no absolutely... As they say, no dog in this hunt whatsoever.
No skin in the game.
I just noticed in my news feed that France had beaten England and sent them home, and I was like, oh, that's got to suck.
Viva la France.
It's going to be great. No stupid shouting in the streets for any more wins.
Yes, it's not coming home now, is it? Won't hear
Well,
that
they are.
shit anymore.
They're
Once-
coming home.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it hasn't come home for a long time. I think the last time it came home, it was already home to start with.
Yeah.
The rugby was much better anyway.
Ping pong delays, ping pong delays, ping pong delays. Take it anyway.
That's it. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Robbie, you still have to get one of these guys.
Hang on, what's one of
Oh,
those?
look what he's
Oh.
got.
Coke 5?
KX5.
KX5, yeah.
I know where there is one, and it's just sitting, gathering dust.
That's
This
your
is
mate.
the
That's
rare
your mate,
black
isn't it?
one. You don't see the black ones very often.
Haven't you just
Yeah.
described every KX5?
Yeah. Now, this one belongs to David Vorhaus, and I was sat in his lounge, and he's got this big double bass because he was originally a classically trained kind of double bass player. But in the corner was this silver KX5, and I kept looking over at it, and it's just like I look at this, the dust on it. I mean, hasn't been moved in years. He can't seriously still play that. That must just be a decoration. I wonder if I can talk him round, and then
bauble.
yeah, and then we went up to a studio which is on the next level, and then there were so many toys in there. It was just like, oh, I completely forgot about the KX5.
How many of them were made from PVC pipe?
He had three, I think. He had the
Three
original
kaleidophones?
three kaleidophones.
Wow.
He still makes. So the one he's got at the
I
moment.
thought I was joking.
No. So the one he has that I think he plays live at the moment is about, I don't know, probably a meter and a half in length. Not the famous one that you see in that that clip that does the rounds, but that was there. And then there was another one which was like after that first one. It was a much more professional looking thing. It's still drain pipe, but
Like the Blue Man Group stuff.
No, it's. Have you not seen a kaleidophone?
Maybe. I've seen the Blue Man Group stuff and the guy who does street stuff with one. He has a portable one in the streets.
So this is half
hit
of
with
a
paddles?
Percussion.
half of a drain pipe that has 4 strips of carbon coated sort of electro conductive strips. So basically they're kind of like strings, and you play it in the same way as you would a double bass. The fingering's in pretty much the same place, and it's all the original one wasn't MIDI-fied, but the later ones are, because the original ones were connected to a VCS3
Oh,
in fact, VCS3 serial number 1, which is there. I've seen it,
Wow.
I've touched it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's serial number 1, and it was connected to that.
And he made the White Noise album with that, did he?
I don't think he had the Kaleidophone.
I think he did. I think that was the first use of the Kaleidophone.
It might have been. I can't remember. Because I know it might. It's certainly the Maniac, which I can never remember what that stands. It's an it's multi something something. Come on, Robert, you must know that. No, he's off on another planet now. Yeah, but it was this. It's like a polyrhythmic
Often another
sequencer.
galaxy.
It's a polyrhythmic sequencer. So like every sequence, every round of the sequence is slightly different as well, and it's amazing contraption. But the new Kaleidophone, and so it's about a metre and a half. So when he holds it, in that very phallic, it only comes up to about here rather than towering above him. But instead of being connected to a VCS3, it's connected to reactor, and he's got this massive reactor construction on his Windows tablet that he then takes out and plays live.
Oh.
And they're supposed to be doing some more gigs next year. So, him and Mike as White
Mike?
Noise. Mike Painter, who is the current other member of White Noise.
I see.
Because basically White Noise is whatever David wants it to be
Right.
at the time. So
Right.
yeah, but I bumped into him back at Gearfest, whenever that was, earlier this year. And because I was supposed to go and see him early part of 2020, and then of course COVID hit.
Yeah.
And given that he is of a certain age, which doesn't makes absolutely no difference to him and the way he lives his life, but I just don't want that on my conscience. So we called that off. He actually went skiing, right? So he's been a mad keen skier for decades, and he went skiing. He must be mid to late
downhill
70s
since then.
Yeah. And he took a tumble a couple of years ago and broke pretty much half the bones in his body, but he just sort of like gets fixed up and then gets back out again. That's how he met Peter Vogel in Switzerland. They went to they went to a convention where both of them had been awarded a prize. Peter Vogel for the Fairlight and David for something else. I can't remember what it was. And they got talking and discovered that they'd shared, not at the same time, but they'd shared an ex-girlfriend. So they then got very sort of pally and talking. They went skiing, and then they would, go and see each other in various places. But yeah, skiing was the thing. Yeah, he's just such a lovely man. Really is. Very gentle.
So there's
but
got to be
eccentric.
like a whole topic somewhere out there about synth pioneers who've shared girlfriends, like almost like the Marianne Faithfull of the synth world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never asked actually who that girlfriend was. Maybe I should. Yeah.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, but I mean, it's odd because Peter's in Australia, and David's over here, albeit with frequent trips to Switzerland and the Alps and stuff for skiing, and somehow I guess it was the 60s and the 70s, I guess.
I thought English people think of Australia as the beach.
Yes, it's the beach that's far away.
Yes, it's very far away, but it's the beach.
That's where we said the convicts.
It's funny, I saw an old 50s program on skiing, and they swore the original pronunciation of skiing was sheeing. You guys heard that before?
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like a South London phrase for something else. I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah.
It's almost like
They share the same girlfriend, right? So
it's almost like that word comes from German, and then the sh becomes a sk, like school.
there you go.
Or,
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Schedule, which most people pronounce schedule.
Makes sense to me.
Could very well
Right.
be. Could well be.
I was still trying to figure out what
Interesting.
the film score to Apocalypse Now would have been like if Tomita had taken it on.
I don't know who's in the running, really.
Yeah, he was out there for a while,
Oh,
and he was going to do the score. And the reason they wanted him to do the score, and there was some sort of contractual problem with his record label that stopped him from
Probably
being
wasn't
able to
weird
do it.
enough because that score's pretty damn weird.
Yeah, so they must have had that kind of in their minds right out from the bat. So they're probably going to get some heater to do it. I thought, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I was trying to think what that score would have sounded like. Can't remember.
I've spent time with Francis Coppola.
Mm.
It was very, very interesting, and he was very nice. And I learned a lot in a short time. And came back to my job with Nile Rodgers. Many, many moons ago this was. But it was a tremendous thing for me to get to spend time with him. He actually flew me out to California for a week, and we basically hung out, and I did a little bit of work as a programmer for some work he was doing on a movie that he's still talking about making.
Wow.
This was 1989.
I would definitely rather hang out with him than George Lucas, that's for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, they're from the same time period, but, you know.
Yeah, of course. Of course. They made, a THX something.
Well, American Graffiti, but
They made some movies together.
well, they created a production company, didn't they?
Yeah. So Trip Studios.
Francis is a great guy and a really interesting, creative person to be around and watch work and listen to work.
He's a hell of a nice winery, too, the Neubauer Coppola.
Yeah, he does. He took me there.
They actually have a Tucker there on the premises.
Yes, I saw the Tucker.
He didn't he write the foreword for that new Bob Moog book?
Who did, Francis?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that new Bob Moog book that
I haven't read it yet. I didn't know that.
Switched On, I think is it called?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote the foreword.
Oh, that's cool.
There's quite a few film directors that are sort of into their
Well, J.J. Abrams is a major synth guy, apparently.
obvious one, yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, I didn't know that. Well, I do now. Spitfire Audio have a thing where you can only move your libraries around so often,
Oh, really?
and then they stop you from moving around, and you've got to contact Spitfire to get permission to move it again.
What, like from
What-
one drive
what-
to another?
Yeah.
What's in contact? No, that's a contact thing.
No,
where
this isn't. No, not in contact. This is even in their app. It's their app that comes up and says, "You do not have resets remaining for your library. Please contact Spitfire customer audio support for further resets." Thanks, guys.
Do you get another block of resets, or you have to contact them each time after that?
I have no idea.
Because that's really stupid if you
Yeah,
have
that we will find out. Maybe.
Why are they doing an IK multimedia? It's an-
Oh, God, don't even get me started on that. I had a go at the UK sales manager about that a few weeks ago. Well, I said, why are you still doing it? Oh, a lot of companies do it. No other company I know does this thing where your downloads expire after 6 months, and then when you're required to do an update, I've then got to pay you $9.99 to get access to my downloads again.
That's a bit weird.
It's stupid is what it is. But there you go.
I suppose they got this limited resets to, well, even if it was to prevent pirating, I mean, I can't see how that would really help.
That's where they're basically making legitimate people suffer. Legitimate customers suffer. That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
because all this is going from a mechanical drive to a massive SSD. And they've gone, no, you can't move it anymore.
I moved all mine to an SSD a little while back so that I could, obviously, so they would load quicker. But because I also wanted to maybe use them on my laptop as well as my desktop. And what I found, and I don't know whether this is just the way it is or whether there's a way around it, but every time I plug the drive into the other computer, I have to go into the Spitfire Audio app and repair the library, which only, I think, with BBC SO, I think there's sort of like 5 core libraries, isn't there? Strings, woodwind, blah blah blah. So you just have to do that, and it takes about a minute for it to. It's basically just re-indexing, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know what
but you can only do that a certain amount of times as well.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, but it does have a limit. 'Cause I've just done it with Hans Zimmer strings, and it's gone. Nope, can't do that anymore now.
But they say that you can use it on different machines, and I'm just swapping between one and the other.
Yeah,
and I'm having to, each time I do it, I'm having to like repair the line, the links, and I don't get it. I guess something gets put into a file, like
somewhere,
database file on the drive that says one machine or the other machine.
There must be one in here where, which is that's weird because it hasn't been moved anywhere else.
Talking of piracy, I actually found out today that there's already a crack of Mini Freak V out there.
Doesn't take long.
No, it doesn't take long.
Yeah, so.
But that whole license card thing always bothered me, even as a legitimate customer. So that's why I like iLok so much, because I moved the license stick. I don't move the materials. It's much easier.
Yeah.
For all the grief and the bad press that iLok gets, I've never ever.
Me either. I've never had a problem with it.
I think I've had one problem before, but it kind of sorted itself out anyway. So it wasn't a massive problem.
It was annoying too because Isotope stopped supporting it on certain products for a while. It's like, why not? Why have it on any? If you have it on one or two, have it on all of them. I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. That's what he said. I'm just hoping I don't have... Oh, God, I've got to do this with all the labs as well. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, it does that with me. If I swap between machines, I have to repair the labs. Although it's a fairly... I think if you do one, it will do all of them.
It hasn't so far. And it doesn't appear to be a repair all facility here that I've found anyway. So, oh, yeah, wait a minute. What we got here?
It's weird. I haven't had to do that, but then again, I use a naughty format. I run them on exFAT, which Spitfire ceased to support when they went to their shitty app, rather than the old download manager. And, I mean, it always complains that your format is not supported.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, it used to be totally fine. And I know exFAT is a terrible format, but it is the only option you're giving me to work between multiple machines of Windows and Apple variety.
They did that recently, where they started throwing out that message. It said your drive is not formatted as, the Apple, was it AFPS or APFS? I can't remember which way around it is. And I was like, oh God, have I got to do that? And then I just clicked through it, and it still worked. It just kept telling me every time, oh, you should be using this.
You're not optimized.
Yeah, I am now. But
it's just like, I'm fully aware that exFAT is a terrible format, but it's better than HFS and HFS Plus used to be, so it's still more efficient than...
well, HFS Plus is fine as long as you stay on the Apple side.
No, HFS Plus, or HFS particularly, is like the worst file format. It's just, I write some data on a disk, I put it somewhere. Great. That was about as intelligent as that was. Linus Torvalds has written many great comments about how terrible it is.
I don't know, I used it for 30 years. I had no problems with it. So
it's just very inefficient and very slow, which is why they moved quickly to SSDs or their Fusion drives to
they
get
did
around.
have a bump. Yeah, I heard they had a bumpy road with SSDs. That's true.
Because it's just the access times are far slower than what NTFS could ever give you. Then again, Windows even doesn't use their file system properly. So it's like, well, that's Microsoft. Develop something and don't use it properly.
Exactly. Yeah.
pulses being widened.
No, it's just 2 detuned saws.
Is that right? All right.
But I mean, on a Minimoog, to get the sort of fake pulse width, you just use an upside down on oscillator 3 and a normal way on the first one, and then it sounds a bit like a pulse. So if you put it in negative, that now sounds like a pulse wave, having one of them inverted. It's far more fun doing this.
Big old unison.
Yeah, 16 note unison. That's what
Yeah.
you always want.
I got it on the 80. Want to fight?
Excuse me, you have 16 oscillators less than I have.
Whose is bigger?
I got 16 VCOs in that. Don't you worry, mate.
Yeah, I got 32.
Yeah, but they're digital.
No, they're analog.
They're not proper analog.
That
No,
that
they
Eric racing
are.
demo with Pedro Eustache, where he fires up the CS80. He's got some serious growls in that. That thing's impressive. That's nice,
I
but
think
his
it's-
growl sounded better.
I think that sounds better in 8 voice unison than 16.
Robert's paying for my next trip to the audiologist.
It's not that loud.
My next trip to the gastroenterologist.
I thought it saves you the gastroenterologist.
I tried to get an appointment with my gastroenterologist, but he didn't have any openings.
Robert, hit the brown note.
That's almost like, what was it? Our local circus was having a competition for new acts, so I entered myself and won. Very good. Boom, boom. What are you doing under there?
Well, that blew the dust off my speakers.
Right. I'm in a cloud of dust right now. My in-ears are steaming.
Speaking of Mitch, my powered Mackies that I use in the workshop have given up the ghost now. The cone's completely split around the whole outside.
Oh, the surround's cracked.
Just buy a recon kit or new ones.
Bit of gaffer tape.
I don't know, I fancy a new one. Fancy a new one.
No, I mean, but if they were polyurethane, then which are normally quite nice, they just break after 30 years completely. It just completely decomposes. It's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're only 10.
Yeah. Shouldn't break that quickly. I mean,
Right.
cracks maybe, but like completely decomposing.
You put
Even
it in a
then,
sink
it'd have to be
workshop. It's a
really
wonder if
dry.
it lasts. It's a wonder if it lasts a month. To be honest.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, the CS80 pitch bend down to 0 hertz is probably not very helpful.
Yeah, it does pop quite a bit.
But also, it's kind of in the elements out there, in a way. I mean, you do keep it climate controlled
front
much
room.
of the time. Oh, it's in the front room. I thought you said it was in the shop.
No, I use it for work. I always do testing in here
I see.
because 9 times out of 10 customers want to hear the machine before they take it, which
Well,
is
can't
fine by me.
explain 10 years then, because a surround doesn't usually give up the
No,
ghost that quickly.
I think it's some of the sounds that have been put through it did it. To be
I
honest,
see.
so especially when I was building the anaglyph oscillators.
Trying to
Wow.
scare away people from the schoolyard across the street.
Yeah, it had quite a waveform on them. Giving it all this. So I don't think those oscillators were actually designed to go through speakers. To be honest,
Well,
I think the
yeah.
anaglyph would actually be better off as in the mining industry. Actually,
SETI.
earth loosening.
Right, guys, I'm heading off because I've got to be up at 10 to 5 tomorrow morning. So
Oh dear me.
I do get to come back to bed, but I have to be up at 10 to 5. So
all right, Rob.
I will see you.
There comes a point
not-
where you're always up at 10 to 5, but never mind.
Yeah. Not long
Gotta
now.
get your beauty sleep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Not long now, my man.
Right.
It's
Have
no
a good
big
one.
deal anymore.
Take it easy.
See you later.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Love to
Bye.
mate.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
We
Yeah.
need that. Now we need somebody else with the what a wanker fucking sample, don't we?
Yeah, we haven't got that. What a wanker.
I could,
What a
load it
wanker.
I could load it into this thing.
Yeah.
What if it accidentally played during the show? Or just map it to all the accidentals that you don't need for a song. And then when you do hit the wrong key, it just comes out blaring at full volume.
You can make an equator patch with what a wanker is one of the bass sounds. So
Yeah. Do it that way around, yeah, sure. Right, let's see what this does. Ooh, there you go. That's working.
have you tried importing stuff and making stuff in equator? I've never tried that.
No. I've taken some of the interesting patches from Equator and then USB'd across to the Grand and played them on the Grand.
Yeah, but you never made any from scratch with external.
No, not
parts.
from scratch. No.
Yeah,
I'm too old. There's not enough time left.
yeah, I'm too lazy.
there's a lot of parameters available to hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, no, I don't think we'll bother.
I did make some Hartman neuron models though. That was kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Loading samples into that and tweaking them, and
And how many crashes did you have whilst trying to use the
Actually, I
model maker
didn't.
software?
I didn't
Oh.
because the model maker works fine in Windows. And then I built the file in Windows and brought it over to the Mac version that's still updated, and it worked beautifully.
Oh.
It's nerdy,
What a-
but it works well.
What a lovely vintage plugin.
Oh, it's great.
All right, where's it? Where the hell's that?
Right, lovelies. I'm off to bed. I
You as
will,
well?
yeah. I'm over to my mum's tomorrow, so
Oh, okay.
yes. Go and spend the day with her on Sundays. So.
All right, Matt. Be well.
And you, my friend. Good to see you.
Catch you
too,
later.
bud.
All right. Keep safe. Keep safe,
Bye,
all of
buddy.
you. All right.
Yeah.
Then. Take
Lovely
care.
to see you.
Look, I'll still put that.
Good night.
What the hell?
It actually sounded like that lightning thunder strike thing from the old, it was a Yamaha or Casio ad. Remember that? When they had the,
No, I don't remember that.
you guys may have not had that ad. They
Yeah, I
had
don't
doing
think
some
I
like
did.
sound effects with the synths, and it sounded kind of like that. Kind of noisy, kind of scratchy.
Right.
You got a license to operate that thing?
What, you need a license?
Are you insured against liability?
So if I claim this to be professional, then yes, I did just renew my PLI and PI lately.
I'm surprised Ty wasn't summoned by now, but
No, he's busy. I think he's got booze there tonight. We'll go back. Oh, good grief. That's all broken, isn't it? Shut that down now. I think we're all right. There we go. There we go. That's it. Out of the way. So, a needle pulling thread.
I know a guy, a sax player, a very, very excellent musician, whose surname is Soldo, Soldo.
Soldo.
Yeah, I call him 5-1. Soldo.
Wow.
And he got it right away. As
Yeah.
soon as I called him that, he knew what I was talking. I guess I'm not the first. It's like people making hotel jokes to me, but maybe not quite as common as that. But
What, you don't own a chain of hotels?
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you get special treatment at any Hilton you check into?
Everyone told as though it were the first.
Okay. I thought you were blonde. There's another one.
But anyway, Soldo.
actually, speaking of Hiltons and Rolly, did you ever see Paris Hilton playing her Rolly?
No.
Oh yeah, she got on and goes, I got this DJ stuff as a Rolly. And it was just so
Really?
awful. Oh, it's terrible.
God.
She was dating one of those DJs for a while, and I guess she got the bug, bought all kinds of software and computer stuff and a Rolly, and she thought she was going to be the next big thing.
I bet that was on eBay within the week.
Yeah, I think so. It was, that one video just made me laugh. I had it on loop for a bit. It was so funny. So
Yeah.
Rolly.
It's a Rowley.
Because she has that kind of vocal fry thing she does a lot.
Hmm.
You know.
No, I don't know what that means.
You guys know what vocal fry is? It's if you ever watch a episode of The Bachelor,
Is this a
and
California
these
thing?
girls go on there and they have it's a phenomenon that psychologists have actually said is you drop your voice to sound more serious and more intelligent, and when you are not allowed to drop your voice properly, it cracks, so you get vocal fry. So when you hear somebody talk, they'll be like, and so I did this and it was really interesting, like they'll drop it down and you get that what they call vocal fry. It's like
I was just
crackly,
going to go,
fuzzy.
oh, I see.
Yeah, exactly. See, but when Paris Hilton does it, it's really crackly. It's like Raleigh.
I see.
I'll have to find a sample of that somewhere. It's pretty funny. If you watch basically any show with vapid Hollywood people on it, even the guys are doing vocal fry. So
That day's probably not coming that soon. Where I'm watching Hollywood shows with vapid people on it.
Yeah, well.
Vaping people maybe, but not vaping people.
Yeah, don't update your drives. It just fucks everything up. It's a little tech tip for you. My God.
K is our computer services.
Yeah.
Caption. At
You may
60
have
years
trouble
old-
locating programs.
Caption. At 60 years old, Ken becomes jaded.
Yeah, it caught me up. Wow. Yeah. Oh, God.
Harvey Firestein.
Well, his doctors basically said he shouldn't be able to talk. I mean, his
Who,
voice
Harvey?
is so trashed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a really weird vocal issue. By the way, I found the Paris Hilton. Someone had an article on it, and there's video in it. So now it's in the chat. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.
Raleigh. This is my Raleigh. I found a little audio clip a couple of months back. It was of Tolkien being interviewed about. There was this thing going around when the Lord of the Rings book was at its peak, and there was a lot of people criticising it, saying, "Why didn't Gandalf just fly the ring straight to Mordor and drop it in?"
Well, yeah, with the
volcano?"
Eagles, right? They could have fixed
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So this was put to Tolkien, and he goes, "Well," he goes something like, he goes, "Well, you see, the thing is what you need to say to people like that is shut up." I mean, yeah, cool, that'll work.
It's my book.
Yeah, buy my book.
It's my book.
I mean, think of all the movies that wouldn't exist that they took shortcuts, right? So and stories and everything
Well,
else.
it wouldn't be a three movie picture deal, would it? Really?
It did have too
I
many
know
endings.
we'll take the Eagles.
It did end
And
like
now
4 or 5
credits.
times. Yeah.
Writing fantasy like that, where your primary motivation is everything has to make sense and add up in some sort of physical reality.
Mm. Yeah, exactly.
You know, some books occasionally get away with it, but normally it tends to be shorter, and it needs to be shorter. Otherwise, when you're trying to flesh it out, then you put in more risk for any inconsistencies.
Yeah. But I don't think you're supposed to concentrate on the story that hard, are you? Really? You sort of sit back and enjoy and let it flow over you. Really?
Well, you're not supposed to analyze it word by word backwards.
Yeah, I know.
Is that not your moment of enjoyment of a good book? So you first start reading it word by word backwards, then you read it forwards, and then you find a whole new meaning in it.
Yeah, it's like old. I mean, if you sat there and analysed Star Wars, you could pull that to pieces. Oh my God, could you pull it to pieces?
Well, especially the original incarnation before it was all fixed. You see the old clips where he's meeting that guy near the town. It's just really unprofessional, horrible footage.
Before Brian De Palma saw it and said it's the worst film ever.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And the green screen stuff, whatever it was called, was that particular movie. It looked really bad. It looked like it just didn't match. It was just horribly done.
Well, that's also because all that footage that's been cut out wasn't restored properly, and
That's true,
what-
but you can just tell it looks like shit. I mean, it's not shot well. And
what was never graded and was never dealt, and it probably comes from some bad transfers. So like from the edit transfers rather than
right.
the actual developed.
Kind of like how he treated the original undoctored footage on the DVDs, right? Only watch my new one. Don't watch the original, which is better. You know.
What the later disc version.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not anamorphic. It wasn't optimized. It was, just like, here you go. Shut up. Here's the old one if you want to watch it. But it's an extra feature, not a standalone release. You know.
Well, I mean, nowadays there is 4K 77, there's 4K 83, and I don't know whether 4K 80 is finished by now.
That's great about the despecialized editions. Just find a high quality version with all that crap taken out, pretty
I mean,
much.
you have the despecialized ones, they're very, probably the best ones.
There's even a Jar Jar free version of episode 1.
What, like 15 minutes of film?
It's quite a bit, and they obviously can't take his audio out, but he's pretty much out of the whole movie. So.
You're right, Mrs.
But Jar Jar's behind everything. Jar Jar is the true Sith Lord.
Yeah.
You know what, what?
Yikes.
No, I remember writing on a forum, a long time ago now. I said, "Oh, it's a shame you never get to see the Death Star actually in hyperspace." And I got this tirade of fucking, it hasn't got hyperdrive and all this sort of stuff. I go, "How did it get the yapping so quick then?" Silence.
Ludicrous speed.
Yes. He's gone plaid.
Well, I love the fact that the way they used the Kessel run in the original thing, they didn't use the word parsec correctly.
What? It does for Kessel running under 2 parsecs, so it does.
Well, they made it sound like a speed unit and not a distance unit, which is
no, but clearly it bends space time in such a way that it managed to do it in less distance.
Please, George Lucas couldn't even figure that out if he wanted to.
or you just did, it's the standard in high energy physics, where you just ignore units and you just say something, and you normally take the speed of light is equal to 1 and make your own units up around that.
It's even worse than that.
No, but like, and for energy, for mass of particles, you normally express it in giga electron volts per c squared, but you just leave that away because who cares? So it's just, you use an incorrect unit to describe something. And it's not uncommon in physics to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do have to make things work too, so.
And then again, NASA and ESA are very good at one of them using the incorrect units.
I wasn't aware of that.
Was a famous thing where everybody in Europe just used SI units as have been agreed upon more than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
NASA used pounds instead of kilos. And when they
Come on, we have to blame you guys for that. You guys gave us that system. We never gave it up. Americans are too stupid to take the metric system seriously, so.
It has been it's System International. It has been agreed more than 100 years ago internationally to be the standard. Why some
we don't use it.
Yeah,
only in chemistry lab and physics and stuff here and there do we use it.
Well, but yeah, here and there, not even in not even putting satellites into orbit or crashing them into other things.
Yeah, we just I asked anyone I can talk to on a daily basis. They have no idea what the metric system is all about, which is a shame because it really makes sense. You know, it's really easy to calculate things with the metric system.
Yeah, except when it comes to a half-inch spanner. Then it's not so easy.
Well, that's the other thing too, because you have the car standards, right? So you have the different tool sets for different vehicles, and then like modular synths are metric because M3, M2.5, stuff like that.
Well, that fucker isn't. That is an American rack system, the 5-year rack. Obviously, yes. Your rack is the 3U Baugruppenträger, which is a normed 3U thing, and your circuit board.
What was the Tangerine Dream one? That was not 5U. What was that weird custom one they had? Was that 5U?
No, that was 5U.
That was 5U, okay.
If you check the thing that Ed Buller uploaded to, was it Electro Music or Modwick, one of those where he uploaded all the pictures of it, there's the letter in there, and they just gave them Moog VCA and like, these are the dimensions, go away with it.
No, not that one. Not that one either.
Yeah, because we definitely have the U over here for servers, going way back. And
that's an empirical unit. One U is 1 3/4 inches.
Yeah. What about HP? Is that a
That horizontal pitch that some people made up for a Eurorack.
It's horsepower.
Yes,
It's always
it's
going to be horsepower.
exactly?
It's how powerful is that module? How many litres is it?
I know, maybe there's a diesel module for Eurorack.
It's just weird they call it horizontal pitch, because pitch I always think of as angles and not just a straight line.
And that's why I think, unless it's the pitch of the screw holes or in the strips you would traditionally have. That's not on for Rolly.
No,
Hey, where's your
man.
tip jar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
I don't know that tune, Mr. Rick. Oh, God.
So what's on the glass? Is it just a logo, or is it?
There's a lot of Italian. Oh, you have to read it from this side. God's sake, here we go. Onolfo del Trimbo. Made in Italy. Handmade in Italy, in fact.
Hmm.
And then the label on the box was something like cinematic something, because it, for some reason, it was in French. It was cinematic, whatever the French word for prop thing. So, apparently they're made under license in some capacity. Not anybody can just go out and make a Blade Runner glass.
No, but
I've never seen one. Yeah.
What wasn't there? Some industrial designer made it for the movie, so the design is still on the design dress or trade dress.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting Fiona to get it for me, because apparently it's something like 175 quid for a glass.
Jeez.
Yeah, fuck it. Mind you, that's a lot. Really heavy. I mean, really heavy.
I'm not going to say I will probably buy a pair at some point.
Just make a series with dialogue excerpts. Excerpts. It's like Blade Runner. Let
Yeah.
me tell you about my mother.
Yeah. I suggest you start with one, see if you like it. They can get another one. Fucking stupid amount of money.
Even just looking at them, we have a perfect for a nice whiskey,
Mm.
and it's not round. It's a benefit.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. You just have to look at it and go, which... I drink from the corners. I think it's safer. Don't drink from the front. It goes both sides.
Oh, like the Japanese wooden cups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the geezer in an airplane. Yeah, still got my drink problem.
I have a drinking problem. I have no drink here, but it's a problem.
That is a problem.
Hey, you could gut those teenage engineering dolls and make cups out of them.
Ooh. No, I know where they've been.
Free insertion.
I don't think the pointy one.
That Italian one with the hat would be pretty rough. Yeah.
That's pretty hard going. That's for the more seasoned.
You have to work your way up to that one.
Yeah. Well, that's probably not a good choice of words either.
It's a difficulty level 10. Yeah.
What, like the 5 kilo tub of Vaseline,
Yeah.
or like half a liter of silicon oil.
In fact, just cut out the middleman and just use the Vaseline gel. It's good training.
Now I have to look up Blade Runner glass. I want to see one of those.
Yeah, have a look and see how much. I know they're stupidly expensive. Or the one I saw was stupidly expensive.
It's essentially like a tumbler. They call it a tumbler.
I would believe so, yeah. Because I saw it about 2 years ago, and I thought, my God, that woman's got a memory. I have to be careful what I say to her.
That's interesting.
We've got
Whiskey wedge glass. You put a wedge of ice in there, and then there's a wedge of whiskey, and you get this two-tone thing.
Huh.
That's bizarre. Oh, see, I see the pictures of it here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, from the movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Amazon Glass. Amazon has it here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, it's not bad.
Go on.
Well, is that the same one? Is that
It
official? Oh no, that's
depends
not
on
the official one.
it depends on the size. Or there are different versions.
Yeah, the
For
official
different-
one with the gift box is. Are they out? No, they're out of
So-
stock.
So, well, you can have a small one for like around €100, and the bigger one for like
Let's
up
see.
130, and the big one for 160. Because it's one for something for everybody.
Yeah, because this is quite a lump, this one.
Well, your whiskey needs whip.
Mm.
Does it come with a little black box and all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
And a little, this is official label inside. Little ticket thing.
Options. Oh wow, this is 192.
There you go.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, I know, for a glass. It's like, fucking hell, piano.
I mean, it's a collector's item, but Jesus Christ.
As somebody who loves modern art, modern architecture, modern design, I am not confused by those prices.
Did you guys see the Lego kit that Rupert Neve was company were offering of a Neve console and like a Studer tape machine?
Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous, and they had some limited run that sold out in like 8 minutes at $175 a pop.
Was it an actual proper Lego kit then, or was it just them doing
I
it?
think it was a custom-made kit by some guy, as it was described. They got some guy in Germany to make 300 of these, and they were, in the form of Legos, but I don't think it was manufactured by the company that makes Legos. But I think anybody with a 3D printer could do this, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's just a lot of time then.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they cost $175.
Mind you, if you've got a bit of money up, there's a film memorabilia auction going on. I keep getting it in my Facebook, and they got alien pulse rifles up for grabs. The original ones from the film. It's like pretty cool. Imagine I wouldn't go out on the street with one of them.
Yeah, put it in the chat, Rich. New mode. It's called new mode. Custom Lego.
Oh, I see.
That's different.
Apparently, I put an S on the end of Lego.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. That's verboten.
That's
I'm,
It's always Lego.
Rookie mistake, that is.
That's right.
I'm throwing myself on the mercy of the court.
How qualified did you say you were again?
It's like saying a graphic novel is a comic book. It's very bad.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Found
and
Dave
then
in a car park.
And then, like, don't even try to compare a comic book to an episodic non-fiction.
Mm.
So you mean Lego is like tuna? The plural
Yes.
of tuna is tuna.
Yeah, I've been schooled many times. I go, you know what? I grew up with Legos. I don't care, but people, So,
It's a made-up word. Who gives a shit?
exactly. Is it an acronym? Is it a?
My dear friend in Switzerland gives a shit, and I'm perfectly willing to accommodate.
Well, it comes from Danish "leg good," play good, but
Wow, is that right?
Yeah, there you go.
but
You never cease to amaze me, Robert. That you knew that.
We have Legoland out here down in Southern California, but I've never been to it.
They have one in England too.
yeah,
In Windsor, I
Windsor,
believe.
isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah. Windsor.
Windsor and Eton.
Windsor.
Yes, great, yes.
Why would I want to go that far out of London? To be basically still London, but no longer London.
It's London, but not as we know it.
Yeah, it's outside the M25.
Yeah, it's sort of
Outside the
weird.
M25, half of it's north of Thames, so it's basically the north already.
yes. It's beyond the ice sea.
That's funny what Paul just wrote.
Yeah.
Give us Legos and we'll trade maths. Yeah, we don't have a plural. The plural of math in America is math.
But it's not.
What?
But it is mathematics. Because unless you.
I'm not trying.
I mean.
Not prepared to defend this.
I mean,
stating an observation.
I mean, math could be correct if you take an algebra class or a geometry class. Then you could say I'm taking a math class because you're only concerning one mathematic, not all of mathematics.
Hmm.
Or you could just not care.
I'm sorry, I just got a message from a bandmate who needs my attention like right away. So forgive me, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, but
Okay.
the derivation of words. God help us all.
Why am I looking at overpriced glasses that all look very nice?
I may be at fault there. You wait until I get my pulse rifle out.
Is that how you greet new customers at the door?
Do you have a phantasm sphere with little blades that come out too?
No. I'm just trying to remember who had it. Who had the Gorn head now? Oh, it's Ben Stiller, isn't it? He has the original Gorn head from the Star Trek series.
Well, from what one of the first episodes?
Yeah, another one was fighting the Gorn on the planet.
Yeah.
Throwing the polystyrene rocks at him.
Well, the Metrons force him to fight. So
The one where he needs to make up a weapon out of saltpeter and rocks and other.
Yeah.
perfect little outcrops of it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how geology works.
Yeah.
I love that. Perfect little. There's a nice big piece of bamboo right next to these tiny bamboo shrubs. It's like, where the fuck did that bamboo come from?
Yeah. That's just the shit you collect as you go along. Unbelievable.
The best part was Spock, and it's like, yes. I thought you were supposed to get emotional. He's all
Yeah.
excited about him making an explosion.
Oh, I don't know.
I always find weird about those is I like all those cameras, those camera chips that the Federation has always running around, so they can conveniently see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they try to explain that, though. Some things just show it. Like, here's some stock footage from something for a court case. I'm like, that's from the movie. There were no cameras there. Lazy filmmaking.
It's like when somebody asks me a question and I haven't got an answer for them. I just go, Gillard at Tanagra when the walls came.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and all that.
Yeah.
When the walls fell.
I actually went through the transcript. All the Trek scripts are online, and I pulled out all those funny quotes, and I was, some guys and I at work were having fun with that, talking back and forth. People thought we're totally insane.
Yeah.
So, Gillard on the ocean.
Yeah.
There's a hilarious. Let me find this. Someone made a tour shirt that says Darmok and Gillard at Tanagra, and it shows like Picard on guitar. It's supposed to be like a band tour shirt. It's golden.
Yeah.
Let me find it here. So
It's like my t-shirt, isn't it? With the red shirt. I may not make it.
yeah.
I don't know. It's the first person in the first episode who dies as a red shirt as well. Of course, why wouldn't they be? But did they actually ever try to make any sense out of the shirt? Because, originally they seemed very random.
I have no idea.
Okay, so here's the tour shirt. You can buy it. It has a Picard on the front with the title, and then the tour dates on the back.
Excellent.
Let me find it here. Here we go. From
I
the
bet
chat.
that originated as a meme.
Darmok and Jalad Alpha Quadrant Tour.
Tamark and Jalad. At Tanagra when the walls fell.
That's so funny. That's kind of a deep cut, though, unless you're really a Trekkie. Then people, what the fuck are you talking about?
I tell you what, Wagyu knows more about it than we do. Zindar, his eyes red.
Oh yeah,
Zindar, he had not slept.
His eyes red. His face black. His eyes red. That's what he says.
Ah.
His face black. His eyes red. It's like, oh
What?
hey.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah. He goes,
Engage.
what's the one? His sails unfurled. That's another one they say a lot.
Yeah. His trousers fell.
Yeah, exactly. His trouser snake fell out.
Siri, what are you doing, darling? Siri. Sissy. Siri's messing up the bed.
Yep. Wagyu found the script. It's fun. I have a little text file. I just took all the excerpts out. It's the best parts.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
What time is it anyway?
11.
Oh, God. Did I bloody get up early this morning? Oh, bloody foxes. Right outside my window.
Isn't it it's such a lovely sound, but really like can't get to sleep or just get woken up.
Yeah. Yeah, they scream, and then I think it's Siri runs downstairs, doing that sort of like really impatient noise, trying to get out as fast as she humanly can. Whereas Nelly just jumps up on the window ledge and looks out the window. But they make so much jumping around and everything, just wakes you up. It's like, you bloody animals, I'm going downstairs now. By the time I made a coffee and got me bleeding clothes on, then the Hoover turns on and starts going around the house. That's it. I go, that's it, I'm up now.
Can I ask for a recommendation? That's what this call was about.
Yeah,
And
definitely get
I
it.
could use your help with this.
Go.
My friend has a friend who's not a musician who needs a means of triggering one-shot samples that could be dialogue, they could be background music, they could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, whether it has a keyboard or a set of drum pads on it or whatever it is that allows you to trigger them like that and hosts them either on the instrument or reads them in real time from a flash drive.
There's an archive sample pad that basically can just do that and nothing else.
That's all he needs to do. That's,
Yeah,
I said to him, I'll bet you Akai makes something that does
MPD 8, I think it is.
MPD 8?
I think
You said?
LPD or MPD 8. I have one. There's a 16 and an 8. 8 is very cheap.
No, it must be MPD because LPD is the.
And yeah.
I think it's MPD 8. I have to look it up. But
MPD.
it's slow loading.
8
But once
MIDI
you
drum
load it,
pads.
yeah, let me look it up.
No,
Once you load it, it's fine, but it's slow loading off the card.
No,
I see LPD 8.
LPD is the drum pad, but they make something that's the same size with a instead of the knobs, the screen to assign the sounds.
I would say SP404 is great because you load 12 pads times basically, I think it's 15 banks, 16 banks.
Is it MPX8 or something?
MPX8, that's it. Yeah. Sorry.
MPX8.
MPX8. Yeah, I haven't used mine for a while. I forgot. But I added a USB battery pack to it, so it's totally portable.
Boom! It's got 8. I don't know if 8's enough, but we're gonna find
16.
out.
There's a 16 out there, but they're harder to get. But
Okay.
they have a latency though. So if he wants more immediate access, I would say SP404. Not even the new one, just the classic SP404. You can get them used, and you have 12 pads, and you can do.
What is that? Roland SP404?
Yeah, Roland.
Let me have a look at that.
That's what I used for my Halloween sounds when I first bought it. And it can be loops, one shots, and gated sounds.
Excellent. I knew you guys would know. I
It's
knew
just
there
the
had to be
easiest
a
thing to
product
do.
that does this, and I actually described to him what I used to do is use a Q Nexus keyboard connected to my laptop running Ableton, and I would put the drum machine, whatever that's called in Ableton, up, and I would put my samples on drum pads. And just,
Well, I mean, or you could even just put them in the grid in Ableton.
well, I needed to be able to operate the thing from the Q Nexus and not even look at Ableton, just launch it and have them on certain keys. You know.
But there's also a great iPad app, a Go button.
Right.
Right.
This was 10 years. This was 10 years ago. I was doing this, or 8 years ago. But yes, I hear you. Thank you.
I
But
mean, if the
these two
person
are
wants
both-
samples on an iPad, there are tons of apps for that, and it's cheap. But if you want hardware,
samples on an iPad. That's also something. So, what would
Yeah.
you recommend as software for iPad?
there's Koala Sampler. There's a whole bunch of different
Koala,
ones.
like the bear.
Yeah.
I mean, Go button is the one that I've used many a times in rehearsal
You've
rooms.
used. You said Go button.
Yeah.
There are like ones for making soundboards. There's all kinds of stuff out there.
Hang on a second. Green button Go software. Is that what we're talking about?
No, it's just called Go button.
Go button. I see. Go button app.
There's
Yes,
Flip,
I see.
Andrew Huang's app that does it as well. It's a multi-sampler. It's called
Flip. You said
Yeah. Yep, that one does.
for iPad.
iPad, iPhone. I think it's on
Right,
both.
right. Okay.
Um,
How to flip your display, flip magazine, iPad flip book. I'm finding everything but music song. music
Failing that,
sound.
you might be able to use iPads on the iPad. Novation
So let's see.
Launchpad.
Everybody else
is
is
another.
making recommend. MPX 8 is what? Yes. Okay. You recommended. SK1. That's funny. SELA.
one sound and very short. Yes.
I watched Mark Tinley. What do you call it? Circuit Bend and SK1 and put
Oh, yeah.
switches and all kinds of.
I have
shit
one of
on
those.
them.
They're fun.
16.
Yeah, there's so many samples on the iPad.
This is a lot of options, and this will be fine. In other words, I've got 2 software options and 2 hardware options, and that certainly more than answers.
But the beauty of the 404 is battery operated, totally portable, robust. You know.
You know what concerns me about the 404, and it may not be an issue because I don't know this person for whom this is all intended, but the 404 looks daunting. It's got a
It's
lot
not.
of crap on it.
It's not that bad, really. It's
It's a
pretty
lot of
simple.
stuff on it for somebody who doesn't operate these things very much. And I have the sense that this guy is more radio than audio. If you know
What I
Uh,
because
well,
I don't
well,
use
but-
my 404 that much, I made a cheat sheet from the manual, so I never look at the manual. And it's really just a couple button combinations, like
looking
chords.
at Roland manuals is like beating your head against the wall.
Exactly. So you do it once, you get the process down, and you never look at it again, because it's just a couple chordal presses of buttons, like function button, function this, function that, because there's no menus on it.
No, quite honestly, the MPX 8, if this guy doesn't need more than 8 samples, looks like the thing.
It's good. It just takes a long time as you load each 8 samples.
Does it hold them past? In other words, when you power it down, does it keep its
No,
memory?
it's gone. It's volatile.
So you got to load it every time you use it.
Yes, and when you load, it's slow. But once you load it, it's fine, and it has built-in
Whereas
reverb.
the iPad solutions, once you've set it up, would work as long as the iPad
Permanent.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that.
So find a
might
drum
be
machine.
better.
There's like there are tons of drum machine apps for this. There's even a SP1200 app on the iPad. It's really good. So super cheap.
Yeah. And remember, this is a guy who wants to trigger background sounds and dialogue. It's not. There's no musical intention for this.
No, but I mean it's a
whatsoever.
sampler, right? So it's whatever you want to put in.
Yeah,
there.
no,
It's
I know what an
yeah.
SP1200 is. But
Yeah.
It's set up like a drum machine, and this guy doesn't know shit. I'm just trying to get to the shortest learning curve for a guy who doesn't know anything about the kinds of gear we're describing.
Yeah.
And
I only mentioned the
and I
Akai
appreciate
because
it.
it's so cheap and small and whatever, but it does have that latency. And for live, it might bother him.
You said which?
The MPX8, it might be
MPX8.
annoying because it takes a while to load each time.
Yeah, well, having to load it every time you want to use it is might be a drag. But I'm going to mention that, and I'm going to show them the two hardware options and these two Go Button and Koala sampler. And
the
I
404 is
think
also not velocity sensitive if that matters.
pardon me.
The 404 buttons on the old one are not velocity sensitive if that matters at all. So,
Well, for most of what I'm hearing described, I would think that's an advantage because you want it to do the same thing every time you press the
exactly. For
button.
sound effects, it's fine. Yeah.
Right. Are you sure it needs loading every time on the MPX8? I think battery operated orchestra used them, and if you need advice about them, I see. This is Wagyu talking to me. I remember it was a bit fussy about wave format and limited.
Yeah, you have to have specific format and length and all that stuff. Bit rate and
But they clipped it with their own software eventually that allowed you to drag samples in there, and it would spit them out in the correct
yeah.
thing onto the.
It loads
MPX.
from SD cards. I see.
Yeah,
But it's only standalone, like I said, if you add a battery pack to it or you plug it into USB something or other, because it's
So in other words, the SD card can stay in the thing, and when you power it up, it won't load until you ask it to.
it will load the last one, but it has to load
Alright.
up as you turn it on.
And you say
So.
it's slow.
I think so. Yeah, it's slow to me.
Okay. That may not matter. That may not matter to these people.
Yeah.
And this, like I said, I don't know if he needs
It's
more
cheap.
than 8.
So
How like what? $100 or $50 or
I think 150 when I got it, something like that.
150? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Very good. This is great. Great solutions, guys. Thank you. All of it is wonderful. It's really good. I'm going to pass all this along to him. Right?
I was going to
He's
get a
supposed to
16,
call me
I
back.
forgot. So
According to one of our friends in the chat, there is no such thing as getting a 16 right now.
you have to be used. Yeah, probably. Yep.
Right. No, I have the sense that these people don't want to spend that much energy looking for the thing. They just want to decide on it and get it. Go Button, a professional audio playback for iOS. I think he's going to like this. That looks great. And Koala Sampler, let me have a look at that. The ultimate pocket sampler.
Dun, dun, dun. It'll do for purpose.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. You've practiced that one before.
Yeah, of these two, Go Button looks more like what somebody who, I'm not sure, but this actually illustrates with almost exactly what these people want to do. In terms of there being, this is related to more of a presentational aspect where there's pre-show voiceover, applause 1, applause 2, applause 3, rim shots, scene changes. This is the kind of thing this person.
Yeah.
Actually, looks good. I've never seen that app. So yeah, Go
It's
Button looks good.
It actually looks, I mean, Koala looks like it would do too. It's just that it's wrapped more around music production as a fundamental concept. And of course, you could do this within something that's wrapped. I mean, Lord knows Ableton is, and that's what I used. But for somebody like this, Go Button might be the right thing. I'm going to show them all of these, though. And this
You're going to get option paralysis.
No, it's just first of all, it's me advising my friend Ralph, who's the drummer in our band, and he's doing this on behalf of a friend of his. And so once we hash it out, he'll know what to recommend to his friend. Because I don't even know the person. I mean, I'm presuming things about their knowledge base and preferences that I don't know for sure. Thank you guys, though. Great suggestions. And thanks everybody in the chat room too, because those were great information and great suggestions. You guys make the show better every time we do it.
Show.
Chatties make the show better.
Yeah. A show with no format, no idea, and no direction.
Well, it's like Bruce Lee, formless, shapeless, like water, right?
Seinfeld made a career out of that.
Yeah, it's true.
A show about nothing. A bit of good times, huh?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, there's a Phantom here next to me, Wagyu.
If this helps the decision, looks like Go buttons are free install. You just have in-app purchases, so that might
I'm
help.
sorry?
Go buttons free install, but it has in-app purchases, so you might be able to use a really basic version for free.
Yeah, I think most of the basic stuff you can probably do for free. Dig up my iPad and see. It's probably going to be out of charge.
Actually, I could play the program for that one. First string stuff. Yeah, the V piano does sound good, and that's what I was playing a second ago.
Yeah.
What blows me away about this thing is how good the synths sound. I still can't get over that part. Wife's home. Excuse me a second.
Okay.
Let's not do that. Okay.
It recreates quite exceptionally, in fact.
I wonder if the next one sounds better. Yeah, it's a little bright. Finger bass, is that better?
Eventually, it'll just be you on stage, you know that.
On a stage of a local hotel.
You can be busking. Do some busking.
Exactly. I'll be on a platform at Grand Central Station playing chic songs.
Not in the lounge of your local Hilton.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Of course.
He is in the lounge of his local Hilton.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
I live in the lounge of my
Already
local-
there. Wherever I lay my hat.
I wish I had bedaps. All I have is that.
That'll do. It's more modern.
I hadn't played any basses yet before until now. Let's see, what is this?
Not the right sound for anything.
Yeah, it's fretless. I haven't played any of those yet. There it is.
Ooh. That's a run.
Fun with toys.
Indeed.
So you just got that, the new Phantom?
This, I just received it.
Yeah.
It's an instrument from, I think, 2019 is what
Okay.
it is. It's not the O series. It's the original flagship product.
Hmm.
But shortly after it was released, pandemic hit, and
Yeah.
by the time I got in line, they didn't have any. But anyway,
Wow.
here one is after whatever 8 months of waiting or something, and and furthermore, loaded with the cloud stuff, and it's nice. It's nice. This is a very, very nice flagship product. I'm very impressed.
Anything you wish it had that it either was supposed to have or you weren't aware of? You know, like.
This.
Oh, well, there you go. So no complaints about it?
It needs a copy zone function.
Hmm.
And I told them that, and they claimed they're going to put one in. So let's see if that happens. Because it's just ridiculous having to set up the same thing over and over and over again that you could just load into a buffer and paste somewhere.
Sure, yeah.
So whether it be between patches or within the same patch, sometimes you want to just duplicate what you've got and pan them. I mean, there's any number of ways you might want to use this, but to not do it seems like a tremendous omission to me. Other than that, no, I'm kind of impressed with everything that it does. I think it's a little convoluted in the way that it does certain things. So, for example, there's not one unified area from which everything loads. If you want to load a sample, you got to go to the sampler. If you want to load a patch program, you go to a certain place in the menu structure. And if you want to load their content, you have to go through another process. And it's just, as much as their manuals suck, some parts of the way they organize their OSs suck, but it's manageable. You just have to learn it. And it might be better than Yamaha. I'm not sure at this point. Yamaha used to drive me nuts in this way.
I think Yamaha manuals are worse, if I remember correctly.
Well, they used to be. They used to be, but when I got in front of a montage, I was very impressed with how easy it was to operate at a fairly simple level. But nevertheless, it did a lot and presented a lot right off the bat. It was about as impressive an instrument as this thing is, in its own way. I'm not sure it does all the same shit, but it's they're both very nice flagship products, and you can't blame the gear when you've got stuff like this. You can't say, well, the gear doesn't do it. Like, I've been playing these stage piano romplers all these years, and the synthesis options are just horribly limited. And at least with this thing, I've got something that behaves like simulates a synthesizer experience very effectively.
What a great sound. What's the second part of a bass line?
Something. That's some fast typing.
Oh, me? Typing?
You type quickly, my friend.
Oh, it's so quiet compared to my typing.
It's not really quiet. I mean, I'm kind of known for. I'm not quite as loud as my son James, but I'm pretty loud. I mean, I don't know. It's off axis on the microphone, is what it is.
I have one of the loudest keyboards money can buy.
Do you have something with like old IBM switch, whatever?
Well, IBM used ALP switches, and yes, these are clones of the ALP switches, and they are.
Yeah, my son James's keyboard sounds like that. Yeah.
And it is great for typing out a bunch of code
Did you get
or
one of
letters.
the mouse organ keyboards? You know, you have the tied down mice and the mallet. The mouse organ.
Bells of St. Mary. Yeah. He's like, oh my God, get him out. By the way, Ken, I just noticed your name on there. It reminds me there's an ad from the 90s for a local furniture store. And it was called Sofa King. And they said, our prices are so fucking great.
I like that one I saw on Facebook. It was a photograph, and it was this shop. It was beds, and in the window it was all chairs.
That's it.
Oh no, you didn't do that, did you?
The piano parts I just played from Good Times are not what I play in Good Times on stage.
Yeah,
But that's the piano part.
He gets away with that every night.
Right, it was horrible. But I haven't finished programming the strings yet, so I couldn't play those. But I'm looking forward to that.
You're doing the strings and horns, right, Rich?
There are real horn players in the band, so I
I
play
thought you were also
strings.
playing some horns with them too, or no?
I play horns with them in one song,
One song, okay.
"Modern Love," David Bowie song.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And I'm basically sort of playing trombone, like I used to, underneath sax and trumpet, which are live horns in the band. So,
Yeah, cool.
in that one song, and I haven't done that one yet either. But there's a ton of great stuff.
So another thing you'd love your Rolly for? Playing the trombone.
How's your free time looking for the next year, Robert?
I mean, technically, if I haven't said yes to a few jobs, although I don't know if I'd want to be a tech with Rollies.
There you go. Well, you're not alone in that.
Yeah, they're not exactly nuanced. They either work or they don't, kind of thing.
Well, because what can you fix when you're in a field and you have 2 hours maximum to try and make it work if you don't have a functional spare?
Yeah.
It's not quite the electronics where you whip out the soldering iron and replace the broken bit.
And I just need lots of cables and spare units. That's it.
No, listen.
Go.
F sharp and G. No,
Yeah?
above here. So, and then
No.
listen.
No. Bollocks.
Start at F sharp. A to F sharp. There you go.
Oh, right, okay.
Boom.
Boom!
And then the ending is
Thank God I have the letters written on felt all on the keyboard. So it's
You know who taught me that?
Bernard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually said to him one day, "Would you just show me what it actually is, so I could, so I'll know."
No, bollocks, missed out one there.
I'm giving good times lessons here in Kent's pub. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da.
Ba-ba-da-ba-dum.
No, listen. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Starting on A. There you go. That's the
Oh,
ending.
okay. Oh, all right. Okay. I'm learning, yes. And that's
For me,
what
that
I like
reminded me
about
of the Monty Python sketch with Beethoven, where he's like, "Shut up, you stupid minor bird! I'm not deaf yet."
No, that's what I like about music. You're always still learning.
You should be, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the cheese shop where he gets all pissed off with the band in the corner.
The bouzouki. Turn off that bloody bouzouki.
Well, first it says that he likes a good bit of music. Shut the fuck
The
up.
Terpsichorean muse.
You what? I like a good dance.
Yeah.
Venezuelan beaver cheese.
Yeah.
Czechoslovakian goat's milk cheese? No.
You can't have
Well,
the camera bear. It's extremely runny. The cat's eating it. So
I don't care how experimentally runny it is.
We run a very clean shop here, sir.
Certainly not contaminated by cheese.
Yes, entirely uncontaminated.
I actually had a mission for a while. I went to fancy stores and got a bunch of those cheeses I could find around here.
Ah,
Ah.
we
The
had guests in the house last week, and my wife went out and did that. I think she
Wensleydale
bought
was interesting.
I
It
think
was a
she
sweet
bought the
cheese.
entire cheese department.
Beware, may contain milk.
I've got so much cheese down there; it's ridiculous. Can you have cheese with pulled pork? I don't know. I think so.
Just don't get the Casamarzu. That's the nasty stuff, if they even import it. You know what that is?
No, is it like Limburger or something?
No, it's a Sardinian cheese, and they let the larvae grow in it and eat the cheese and process the cheese, and it becomes this flaky layer of like excrement of larvae.
Oh man!
Yeah, pretty disgusting. Delicacy.
Other cheeses are available.
That's what happens when you invite scientists to your cocktail hour.
If you're really bored and you've eaten every other cheese, you know, so let's try something really weird.
Weevil shit, anyone?
Yeah, basically.
I prefer my coffee then.
Oh, the civet crap coffee?
Yeah.
It is quite good coffee.
It's expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth the money, but it is good coffee.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been able to automate the process yet.
How hard can it be? It's just the acid in their stomachs for a certain amount of time.
Well, it's a bacterial action. It's a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Well, guys, I have to go cook dinner now.
He's like, I'm going to throw up now.
And my wife has just returned from shopping, and I expect she's probably hungry too. So I'm going to say goodnight.
Actually, I'm going to say goodnight too, because my eyes are falling out of my head. So we'll finish off with regurgitated coffee beans, I think, and
Nice.
call it a night. And
Happy birthday, mate. You made it
Thank
to
you,
Yeah,
sir.
60.
birthday.
Yeah, I made it. Can you believe this? I would have thought
Yeah.
I'd fallen off a cliff or,
Yeah.
I don't know, eating dynamite by now.
How would you fall off a cliff?
It's really easy.
No, you just glue yourself to it, right? Accidentally.
How you fall off a cliff is you practice. Practice.
Well, if you're gonna fall off a cliff, you got to go to Dover, where it's beautiful, right? So
Well, yeah. Well,
What
the way
gives
down
Some
it is.
Dover? From the Help movie. Some guy swims up on shore and asks
Yeah.
if those are the white cliffs of Dover, and they point back to the
Or
ocean.
of best is when we're in Austria and the curling thing that blows up and he's like that's coming white cliff left over. Thank you.
Yep.
That sketch, isn't it? Go, I say, Buffy, there's cabbage crates coming over to Briny. What? Cabbage crates coming over to Briny? What are you talking about? Cabbage crates, you know. Cabbage crates coming over to Briny. No, sorry. Don't understand. No, you wouldn't have seen it, Rich.
No, I haven't seen that one.
That was a more local comedy program that we had here on the BBC.
All right, kids, I'm off.
Cool.
Talk to you soon.
So am I. I can
Stay
smoke
well.
from here.
see you guys.
Take care. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for, as always, have a lovely birthday.
I will. What's left of it, anyway. You going to do some more Andromeda ring?
Oh man, probably. It's too much fun, isn't it?
Some galactic noodling, Andromeda Galaxy style.
Almost.
Nah.
I'm
Nah.
learning it now. It's Alright.
You got it. Now you have to remember it when you wake up.
Oh, mate, I won't remember it after I've walked out the
Shoot a
room.
video with your phone so you have it.
I'll be on the landing game. And no, how'd it go?
Do a quick video with your phone. You got it.
That's literally what I did this morning with a thing that I uploaded a few hours ago. I wanted to remember what I played and just recorded that because apparently digging out a MIDI cable would have been too hard.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm used to modular where you basically unplug and that's it. So it's gone.
But if it's reasonably well tuned and decent stuff, you just turn it on again and it's nearly there. And for
Well,
us,
if you
can't
don't touch
remember.
anything, that's true. But I mean, sometimes certain subtle things don't get stored because they're complex modules. But I just don't count on it. If I'm not done by the time I'm ready to turn it off, I'll do a quick recording and just hope for the best. So
Anyway,
Yep.
I will see you all at some point.
see ya.
All right.
It's lovely being in the pub again.
Yes. I actually had a drink this time.
Well, Blade Runner drink them
Yeah, later.
with taffy. See
Yeah.
you anytime, pal.
Shame she won't live, but there again, who does? All right. Take
See
care,
ya.
guys. Look after
All
yourselves.
right.
Ta-da.
So yeah.